Hi guys!
Hello! Good.
Alright, so hello everyone! Good afternoon! Ayan, audible ba ako?
Yes, sir.
Am I
Audible.
audible? Okay, good. So, ayan, good afternoon, beloved audiences. And since we are all gathered here in our webinar for the financial literacy webinar, at this juncture, I guess we are now able to start, but let's start this session with a prayer followed by the national hymn and then the University of Mindanao hymn.
Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Please help us to come together to make this institution reflect your kingdom. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Mga kababayan,
All right, so ayun, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, pandemic and the spread of the viruses had really affected economic growth over the past year, which has increasingly influenced the global economy and really had gave us an impact in our country, especially in terms of spending or earning money. Now, here's the thing. The future is really uncertain and we cannot predict it. But what we can predict is that when we earn money, we spend it. So, without any further ado, let's give a warm of applause for our dearest Bachelor of Secondary Education, Sir Zandri Lars Balili, to present the welcome remarks. Now, I'll give the stage to you, Sir Balili.
A pleasant afternoon, everyone. To our dearest Educ 108 advisor, Ma'am Anter, co-students, classmates, and to our guest speakers. It is a great pleasure for our group to welcome you all to this webinar with the theme, The Financial Literacy, a Strengthening Foundation Towards Adulting Journey. Again, I wish a warm welcome to all the participants today. And of course, a special welcome to our guest speakers, Mr. Ronald Aquendo and Mr. Lino Ray Tejada. Thank you, sir, at pinaunlakan niyo ang aming invitasyon considering the hectic schedule. We still managed to attend today's activity. And as you all know, this event aims to explore, understand, and apply frameworks on financial literacy and value change on avoiding and coping with financial crisis. Therefore, we have invited some knowledgeable speakers who would enlighten us more about this in regards. Thus, I welcome you all today for our very first webinar series on financial literacy. So, we expect everyone to sit back, relax, and just digest the learning. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that very wonderful welcome remarks, Sir Zandri Balili. All right, so in this part, okay, let's see. For our very first speaker for today. Okay, so we have the Bachelor of Secondary Education Bioscience at St. Mary's College of Bansalan, a licensed financial advisor of Sun Life Grepa Financial Incorporation, and a teacher one at Matanao National High School, who is no other than Sir Lino Ray Tejada. A warm of applause, please. Okay, so right now I'll give the stage to you, sir. Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon. Audible ba ko?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the organizer of this webinar, specifically the University of Mindanao. And what course is it? Based in English.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me. It's my honor and privilege to share to you my knowledge about financial literacy and financial management. And before that, I would like to present to you. Okay lang ba na mag-present ko?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Okay, so first, let me introduce myself. I am Lino Ray H. Tejada, Teacher 1 from Matanao National High School for, I think, 5 years. And I am also a licensed financial advisor of Sun Life Grepa Financial Incorporated. Let me just say just a little background of what is Sun Life is all about. Sun Life Grepa Financial is a financial institution based in Canada. More than 150 years na nag-exist ang Sun Life Grepa. here in the Philippines, I think more than 50 years na nag-exist ang Sun Life Grepa. But in Canada, it is called Sun Life of Canada. Okay, and we are offering more on uh, insurance and other investment financial needs. Okay, so yun lang po. Hindi na ako magpapaligoy-ligoy pa. I have to start my presentation. Again, good afternoon and thank you. So the big question, how do you see yourself financially after 5 years or 10 years or 20 years or after you retire? So sa ngayon, anong level na ba kayo sa college?
First year to third year, sir, line.
Okay, first year to third year. So in 5 years, I believe you already have your job, you already have your work. Okay, so how do you see yourself financially after 5 years, after you graduate? Okay, and after 10 years, so you have now your stable job. And then how do you see yourself financially? And after 20 years, and after you retire, masasabi mo ba na mayroon kang financial freedom after all those years? And you have your hard work and then saving a lot of money, and then how do you see yourself financially? So this afternoon, this big question, we are going to answer this one. I'll be speaking to you about financial management. First, let me define what is financial management. Financial management is a strategic planning, organizing, and directing and controlling of financial undertakings. Okay? So yun po yung definition natin sa financial management. It is how you manage your finances. Okay? For the purpose of hindi tayo makadating doon sa point na magiging poor or magiging broke tayo when it comes to our finances. Now, the objectives of our financial management or why we manage our finances, number one, is to maintain or the maintaining of enough supply of funds. Okay? Yun kasi yung importante. We should have enough supply of funds. Kasi nga, sabi ng ating host kanina, it is expected that meron talagang mga expenses. Kung merong income, meron tayong expenses. And even if we don't have any income, meron din tayong expenses. So how do we maintain enough supply of funds? That is now one of the objectives of our financial management. Another objective is the optimum and efficient utilization of our funds. Paano natin gagamitin yung ating funds or how to efficiently utilize our funds. Kasi usually, one of the reason bakit marami po ang poor or walang enough na fund is because they don't have the skill how to manage their finances. And number 3 is to secure future financial needs. Okay? So yun po yung ating objectives of financial management. Why we need to manage our finances because of these 3 objectives. Okay. Anyway, before I proceed, if you have any question, you can just raise your hands and then ask. So, what is now the secret to financial success? I will just give you a situation and then try to assess. No, try to assess, try to answer, try to balance po. Ano po yung magiging respond natin sa situation na ito. Okay? This is now the situation. If you know him, he's the richest man in China. He owns, I think, management. Or you can search him on YouTube about his scheme, how to manage your finances. Now, if Jack Ma will sell all his assets, okay, and the proceeds will be equally divided and given to all of us. So, mabibigyan po tayo equally to the poor and even for Jack Ma. What do you think will happen after 5 years? Sa tingin niyo, kung ibaligya tanan ni Jack Ma ang iyang mga assets, niya ihatag sa mga kabus or ihatag sa tuang tanan, and after 5 years, usa kay mahitabo sa tuwa? I believe after 5 years, Jack Ma will mudato lagi hapon siya and the poor will still be poor. Why? The secret to that is financial management. Kasi marami namang nananalo ng loto, hindi naman yumayaman. Kasi nga, poor yung kanilang financial management. Meron din naman yung wala masyadong income, but in the long run, naging financial stable sila. It's because they know how to manage their finances. So the secret to financial success and financial security is not really about having malalaking sweldo or malalaking income. It is more on how you manage your finances. Okay, that is the secret to financial success. So there are terms that we need to be familiarized when it comes to financial management. Number one, we have income. Okay, income, it is the money that people and businesses Okay, sorry, I think I've lost my connection. Okay na ba? Na-restore na ba ang connection?
Yes, sir. Makita na po and audible,
Okay,
sir.
Okay. So again, let me first give to you the first term in financial management that we need to be familiarized. Number one is income. It is the money that people and businesses receive in exchange for working, producing a product or services, or investing in capital. Okay, yung income, yung pumapasok na pera. We also have expenses. It is the amount of money that is needed to pay or to buy something or to pay in exchange for services. Okay, ito yung lumalabas na naman na pera. And lastly, we have savings. It is the process of setting aside a portion of your current income or your current finances for future use or the flow of resources accumulated in this way over a given period of time. So meron tayong mga savings. Ito yung perang pinaglalaan natin for future use. Okay, so we have income, we have expenses, and we have savings. Let's discuss each term. Number one, we have income. So there are two types of income. One is active income. So what is now an active income? An active income refers to income received from performing a service or offering a product. Okay, you are actively participating in acquiring income. So for example, of an active income is you have your own job or you have your own business. Okay, nagtatrabaho ka and then you have your business. Ikaw mismo yung nagpe-perform. Okay, if you don't have a job, then you don't have any income. Okay, yun ang tinatawag natin na active income. And we also have passive income. Passive income is any money earned in a manner that does not require too much effort. Okay? So yung passive income, kahit natulog-tulog ka lang, may income ka. Example of passive income, we have rentals, okay? We also have investments on trades and something. Okay? Kahit na wala kang ginagawa, even yung savings natin sa bangko na nag-earn ng interest, that is an example of passive income. Okay? We also have, for our expenses, we have types of expenses. We have three types. Number one, we have fixed expenses. Fixed expenses are payments we have very little control over, as they represents a legal obligation to pay, such as your rent or mortgage. So itong fixed wala talaga tayong magawa dito because they are fixed. We have monthly rentals. For example, if you are living in a boarding house, okay, you own a house, nag-loan ka sa Pag-ibig. So yung monthly na babayaran mo, that is already fixed. So you have no control, or you have at least little control on how you manage your finances. The only control you have when it comes to fixed expenses is to pay your expenses on time or before the deadline, okay, para hindi na siya mag-earn ng interest. We also have periodic expenses. Periodic expenses are items such as insurance, meron tayong tawag natin to yung periodic kasi nga once in a year or once in every 6 months. For example, yung example natin dito is yung vehicle registration. Okay? We also have insurance. Okay? Meron tayong quarterly, semi-annual, or annually. Meron tayong ganitong klaseng payments. Okay? And lastly, we have variable expenses. Variable expenses are costs that change over time. So when it comes to variable expenses, ito yung pwede nating kontrolin. For example, when it comes to food, okay, yung presyo kasi ng food is nag-change yan over time. Hindi natin alam yung magiging presyo ng isang item after a month or a year. Okay, for example, yung gasolina, so nagva-vary po yung ano niya, yung cost. So ito yung tinatawag natin na variable expenses, and we have control over these variable expenses. Kasi pwede ka namang hindi bumili ng iced tea or yung milk tea, o yung mga ganun, you have control over variable expenses. Okay, so these are the 3 types of expenses. And then savings, you also have types of savings. Number 1 is for emergency purpose or emergency purposes. We save for, sabi ko nga kanina, for future plans or for future financial needs. Number 1 is for emergency purposes. Ano yung mga emergency purposes? Like health and hospitalization. Kasi hindi natin alam yung panahon, lalo na ngayon sa pandemic, marami talagang nagkakasakit. And it's very important for us to set aside certain amount of money for emergency purposes. Okay. So, number 1, yung health and hospitalization. And pwede rin at worst case scenario, pwede rin yung job loss. So, wala kang trabaho, mawawalan ka ng trabaho. If you don't have may panahon na wala ka talagang trabaho or jobless. Kasi ngayon nga, ngayon napatunayan sa pandemic that there is no such thing as security. Kasi nga, maraming nawalan ng trabaho pagdating ng pandemic. So we need to prepare for the worst. Yun yung isa sa mga purpose na bakit kailangan natin ng financial management. Okay? And then, we also have some unexpected repairs. Gaya ng nangyari, I think 2 years ago, when the earthquake struck Matanao, diba, maraming mga households, maraming mga buildings ang nasira, nagiba. So we have what we call as unexpected repairs. So if you don't have enough savings, you don't have enough money, then paano natin gagastuhin o anong gagastuhin natin for the unexpected repairs? Kahit na nga sa mga gamit. Even for students, for example, sa laptops, okay, masira yung laptops, anong gagawin mo? Okay, so you need to have savings for unexpected repairs. We also have for specific purposes. We save for specific purposes. For example, this is just an example, educational fund. We save for our education or the education of our children in the future. Kasi nga mag-asawa, magpapakasal, and then kailangan talaga natin pag-ipunan yung schooling ng ating mga anak. Okay, that is for specific purposes, educational fund. We also have future projects like buying a house, buying a car, buying real estate, yung mga ganon. That is for future projects. So hindi basta-basta nabibili ka if you don't have enough money. So what you need to do is to save a portion of your income for your future projects. Okay? And other specific purposes. Meron pa, marami talagang pwedeng paglaanan ng ating mga savings fall under the category of emergency purposes or for specific purposes. Okay? So, financial management. Again, financial management, this is to ensure financial stability to maintain, if not to alleviate or upgrade your lifestyle or your standard of living. The main objectives of financial management is to ensure financial stability, to maintain, if not to alleviate. Ang ibig sabihin po nito, yung current po na lifestyle natin, like today, ano po yung lifestyle natin? We can eat 3 times a day, and then meron tayong snacks in between. We can buy gadgets we want, yung mga ganun po na lifestyle. The objectives of our financial management is to maintain that kind of lifestyle, okay? Or at least to alleviate or to upgrade your lifestyle, okay? Kung karon nga panahon wala kay ka na kalaag, kung kabalo na ka mag-manage imong mga sa imong finances, maybe in the future makalaag na ka bisan asa ka mo atong dapit. So yun po yung tinatawag natin na to alleviate or to upgrade our lifestyle. Okay? So what is now our formula in managing our finances? So we have just basic formula. Actually, maraming pwedeng gawin with when it comes to our finances, but I will just give you the basic formula in managing your finances. Okay? So we have income. Sabi ko nga kanina, yung income, yung pumapasok po na pera. We have to deduct our expenses, and the rest will be our savings. Okay? Income minus expenses, that will be will result in our savings. Okay? But if you have, for example, you have 20,000 yung monthly income, and then your expenses is 10,000 per month, then you have a savings of 10,000. Okay? It could also lead to pwede rin na mag-deficit po yung ating finances kung mas malaki po yung expenses natin kaysa sa income. So ito po yung second formula. Our expenses minus our income will result to debt. Okay? Pag mas malaki po yung ating expenses, compare doon sa ating income, of course, ang labas niyan utang. Okay? Or we will become broke. Ito po yung pinakamaganda na formula. Ito lang po yung gina-encourage namin po sa mga clients when it comes to financial management. Income minus savings, the rest or what is left will be our expenses. Okay? Pag may income ka, tanggalin mo muna yung savings. Kasi nakaset na yun siya. Nakaset na siya for specific purposes or for emergency purposes. And the rest will be your expenses. Okay? Now, with these 3 terms, yung income, yung savings, at saka yung expenses, you can actually manipulate these 3 to increase your financial prowess, okay? Or your financial freedom. If you increase your income, of course, mas malaki po yung spending power natin. Mas malaki po yung savings. If you increase your savings, of course, lalaki din yung financial stability of future needs natin. Okay? If you reduce your expenses, of course, mas malaki din yung savings natin. So, we can actually manipulate these 3 for us to gain financial prowess or financial freedom. Okay, so how do we manipulate these 3? How to increase your income? For example, may trabaho ka na. You have a stable job. Kasi lahat kayo, you are education students, so probably after 5 years or less on the Department of Education as professional teachers. Okay, so may income kayo, I think, basic, sabihin na lang natin, 20,000 yung monthly. So how do you increase your income? Kasi fix kasi yung income ng DepEd. Okay, naka-fix siya yung meron tayong entry level salary. I think that is 20 to 21,000. Okay, I don't know kailan mag-increase. But then when we talk about our salary in the DepEd, naka-fix po yan. So how do we increase? Number one is through promotion. It is one way of increasing our income by promotion. So what you do, ano pong dapat gawin natin para ma-promote? Of course, you have to upskill. Yung upskilling, ibig sabihin nun, continuing education, like pursuing higher education like masteral and doctorate. Okay, mas malaki po yung chance natin na ma-promote when we upskill. Okay? I-increase po natin yung ating level of education or educational status natin. Skill. Pwede din yun to acquire new set of skills. For example, for education or in education, available na skills na pwede natin i-acquire for us to use in our teaching career. For example, if you are all English major, then you can acquire new set of skills like in journalism, pwede rin yung computer literacy, pwede yung technical and vocational skills. As long as you can acquire new set of skills, then you have a bigger chance of promoting yourself. So that is one way of increasing our income. Another one is, of course, we also have other sources. Other sources includes part-time job. When we talk about part-time job, hindi po yung papalitan natin yung ating trabaho, but then ang ibig sabihin po ng part-time job is after your main job, you have other jobs. For example, online tutorials. Pwede din yun after working hours. Hanggang 4:30 lang yung sa DepEd. And after that, from 8 to 10 in the evening, you can have your part-time jobs. Making contents for video vlogging, okay, sa YouTube. If you try to search for teachers in YouTube, marami po dyan. That is another source of our income just to increase our income. Okay? Next, we also have, of course, yung tinatawag natin na investment. Wag lang yung mga scams. Okay? Maraming investment po na talagang scam po sila. So when we talk about investment, yung mga legal talaga na mga investments. Okay? So you can invest in real estate, you can invest in like in forex or any trading na mga investments, pwede din yun. Okay? That is our other source of income. And then we also have our expenses. It is cost versus expenses. Ano yung cost ng isang product and how do we spend our finances? It is a battle between needs and wants. Okay, meron po nag-raise ng hands. Yes, sir. Question po. Sir Balili.
Which one pala is better, sir? For us students po, especially this pandemic, investment po or trading?
Depende po yan sa skills po. If you want more risk, pwede po yung trading. Mas malaki kasi yung income ng trading. Kaya lang, mas malaki po yung risk. But when it comes to investment, meron po yung, anyway, I will discuss that later on po, yung in terms sa investment. Medyo long term siya, pero mas mababa po yung risk niya. Yes, Sir Villar.
Sir, pero sir, I permission to ask, sir. Kuan kanang
Yes, sir.
kung nay knowledge ang estudyante, sir, kanang bright kay siya sa trading og investment, sir. Kasi suggest mo sir, magpadayon siya siyang pag-eskwela sir about sa education or padayon siya siyang long-term job na dakog profit sa trading og trading og investing sir.
Murag maputol ko, dili na ko madunggan. Pakibalik daw sa question.
Kanang kuan sir ba? Ang estudyante sir, na siya is special skill sir. Kanang kuan siya ba? Kanang hard siya
Mm-mm.
trading og investment na nakaskwela man siya education sir. Unsay plano na niya sir? Mukwit sa education or mukwit siya sa investment na dakog income og trading na skills niya na profit niya para ipadayon ang kuan asan preferred sir.
Depende na sa unsay nasa imong heart. No, when it comes to profession manggod and when it comes to the things that you want to do, magmatter gina ang imong heart. Kay pwede man kang magtrabaho at the same time na kay kanang ginatawag nato nga part-time job or other sources. Pero kung mag-conflict ang duha ka katrabaho nimo, then you have to select kung asa dito ang imong gusto. Kay sama-sama ginaingon natay ginatawag nato nga mga risk. Kung gusto kag taas-taas nga profit, of course, taas-taas pod ang iyang risk. Nga na magina siya, depende na sa imong appetite when it comes to risk po.
Ang kuan sir, para sa
Ma'am
mga sir, asa sir.
Bigay? Ay, sige,
Wala ka
sige.
sitwasyon,
Okay.
sir.
Para yun.
Para sa mga sir, asa ka mo pili sir? Kung nana ko special skill sir, kung professional jud ka nang dakon jud ka profit ka nang lisod na kay ilos, aka pipilion sir. Kung naka sitwasyon na nagskwela pa ka, pero gusto ang parents mo, gusto lang education, pero gusto mo investment o trading. Kay tungod kay
Okay.
nag-conflict mga decisions mo. Ay, kuan, tungod conflict kay gusto mong ginikanan, kay gusto education, urag dis lang mo tuo ba? Unsa pag decision
Okay.
ana sir?
Sige, ingani na lang. I will give you a chance mamaya to explain after nga humana ko og discuss kay basig makaabot ta diha nga part. Okay? Either you will pursue your course or you will pursue kana siya nga track kanang investment and trading. Okay? Mag-abot ta diha nga part. Sige. Sikoan, Bikay, Ma'am Bikay.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. For you, sir, which much better, investments or savings po? Thank you.
Yes. Question po.
Which much better, sir? Investments po or savings po?
Depende po yun siya sa purpose po ng savings at saka purpose po ng investment. Okay? As much as possible, you should have savings at the same time, you should have investments. Kasi nga, pag mas marami po yung basket na paglalaanan natin ng ating mga finances, mas better po yung ating financial prowess, financial freedom po. Kasi nga, for example, you are investing in just one basket. What if yung basket na yun is malos o malugi? So, lugi din yung pera mo. So, when it comes to investment po, mas maraming investment plus savings and other sources po, mas better po yung ating stability when it comes to our finances. Anyway, I will discuss that later on po as we go on with our discussion.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay? Tapos okay. Is it Mr. Ong or Miss Ong? I'm not sure.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
You're raising your...
Miss-
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. What investment are available for students to join here in campus?
Marami po tayong option dyan. Pero I will just discuss to you later on, ha? Okay, marami. I can offer you some of the investment po na pwede nating paglaanan as students po. Okay. So let me continue with my presentation. We have here cost versus expenses or it is a battle between needs and wants. According to the Republic Act or according to the Philippine Constitution, it cited at least 5 basic needs. So we have first food. Okay, importante talaga yung food. Hindi ta pwedeng mabuhi kung walay pagkaon. We need also shelter, balay, at least kapasilungan lang nato, no? At least comfortable kind of living. And then we have clothing, mga sanina. We have education, of course. This is very emphasized in our constitution. Free education for all. Kaya nga tinatawag natin na yung education is actually a primary needs, no, for every Filipino. And lastly, we have security. Yung security natin either security from harm and danger or financial security and in any other types of securities. Okay? So yun yung tinatawag natin na the 5 basic needs. When we talk about needs, it should be based upon our for specific use lang po. For example, for students, diba, if you are going to identify your need as a students, sabihin natin you need laptop. Okay? So ano yung purpose natin sa pagbili ng laptop? And then mayroon din namang laptop na talagang when it comes to specs, high-end masyado. Okay? But the cost for that laptop is, let's say, 100,000. Okay? Pero kung tingnan mo, ano talaga yung purpose? Bakit bibili ka ng laptop? Nga mapalit man kag laptop, may anak ka, kataas ang specs. Makag-video, magbuhat pa music video, mag-recording ba ka? So depende na siya sa imong kanang specific purpose giniya. Kung dili nimo need, kung ang imong kikinahanglan lang kay for typing jobs lang and for browsing the internet, dili nimo kinahanglan mo palit og mahal nga laptop para lang gyud nga makagamit ka og laptop. And then so yung ang pag-decide, either is it really your need or simply your want. Okay? Mag-base ta karon unsay purpose ana. Okay? Even for teachers, dili basta ba nga high-end kay igo raman mi mag-compute og grado. Okay? And then igo raman mi buhat og mga mag-attend sa mga webinars nga dili man sa kinahanglan og taas kay nga specs. So as long as ma-meet nimo ang imong need for a certain job or let's say for certain operations, then go for it. But be sure nga gikinahanglan gid nimo. So in any area, either food, shelter, clothing bakaha, or any gadgets, this should be according to the specific purpose nga nagpalit ka ana. Okay? So we also have savings. We have how do we manipulate our savings? We can save to spend. Sama sa giingon ganina, when we save for specific purpose for future projects, and then we need to buy something, buy a car, buy a house or house and lot, and so on and so forth. So we save to spend on something. And when we save for something, wala na siya return, no financial return. Kung palit ka og sanina, wa gyud na siya ibalik nga return sa imo unless ibaligya nimo. Okay? So ang tawag nato ana nga type of savings is to say save to spend. There are other type or another type of saving ang ginatawag nato nga save to invest. Okay? You are saving for investment. Maybe in the future you are planning to have your own business. Okay? You are saving for something. So when we talk about save to invest, meron po tayong tinatawag na return of funds. Bumabalik siya. Okay? Wala lang ka basta nga nipalit ka ana kay naa kay kanang plano nimo nga nasi mabalik si mo nga finances. For example, nganong nipalit ka og laptop kay gusto man nimo magtudlo online. So naa kay ginatawag na to return of fund. Nagpalit ka, nag-save ka og kwarta ipalit og laptop. Kaya ang laptop gamiton nimo for online teaching, so naay nibalik sa imuha nga fund. So ang tawag nato nga klase nga savings is save to invest. Okay? So far, mo to siya ang tulong nga dapat natong buhaton in manipulating, no? We have to increase our income. We have to cost cutting ang atong mga expenses, and we also have to save to increase our savings. Okay, either you are going to save to spend or to save to invest. Okay, so ito na po yung tinatawag natin na Financial Management 101. Are you familiar with this rule? 70-20-10. Nakadungog na mo ani? Nakabasa na ba mo? Nakakita na ba mo ani? Yes, Miss Jonah.
Yes po, sir. Sa YouTube.
Okay, daghan kayo na sa YouTube. Actually, daghan kayo na sa YouTube. Yung 70-20-10 rules, usually muna siyang kinatudlo sa mga financial managers. Kung sa manang 70-20-10. 70% should be your expenses. Okay, dako gid kayo ang kuano, ang percentage sa gasto kay daghan man kay gastuhan. Gasto ka kada lihok nimo sa imong pagkaon, sa imong sanina, sa imong pamasahe. Okay? Sa imong pag-eskwela, sa mga papel palang daan. So dako gid siya nga percentage when it comes to managing your finances, ang kanang expenses. 20% should be for your emergency fund. Okay, nganong emergency fund sa kay sama sa akong giingon kanina, life is uncertain, wala ta kabaloon sa mahitabo. At least we have funds when that time comes. So ang emergency fund nato, it could be for health purposes or for emergency repairs and other emergency purposes po. So that should be 20%. Okay? And 10% should be your savings. Okay? Yung savings natin na sinabi natin kanina, either you spend or for future projects or for investment para mas mo-earn pa ka og daghan pa nga income. But take note, when it comes to emergency fund should be at least 6 times the amount of your monthly income or monthly salary. Yung emergency fund po natin. Okay? When we talk about 6 months, for example, for teachers, basic salary is 20,000. Okay? When we talk about emergency fund, you should have at least 120,000 as your emergency fund. Ibig sabihin nun, pag may emergency, okay, may magagamit po na pera. And in case of job loss, you have at least 6 months to find another job. Yun po yung concept nun na mag-save ka for emergency fund. That should be 6 times the amount of your monthly income or monthly salary. Okay? So yun po yung rule. So let's try to visualize our management by this illustration. So I call this one as our financial circle. Okay, yung life cycle natin in terms of sa finances. It is being divided into 4 quadrants. Okay, the first quadrant is from 0 to 20 years old. Okay, from age 20 to age 40. From the third quadrant is from age 40 to age 60, and the last quadrant or the fourth quadrant is from age 60 to age 80. Okay, so let's say yung average lifespan ng isang tao is up to 80 years old. Okay, the first quadrant, ito from 0 to 20, it is more on study and more on play. Okay, naglalaro ka pa niyan o nag-study. I guess most of you below 20 years old. Okay? And then, ang trabaho mo is just to play and to study. Kukunti lang siguro yung nagtatrabaho at first quadrant po. Usually lahat po nag-aaral. The second quadrant, from age 20 to age 40, you could have your first job, your first car, your first house, and probably you have your family and kids. Okay? May trabaho ka na, and probably after 5 years, after 10 years, meron ka ng first car. And then, probably you have your first house. Meron ka ng bahay. And probably, may kasama ka na din. You have your family and kids. From 20 to 40 years old. Okay? From 40 to 60 years old, probably you have your second job. Malay mo, makakita ka o ka ng mas gwapong trabaho, mas dakog sweldo. Pwede po, or you can have your second job, other job, o part-time job. Pwede po nga, na nakaikaduhang sakyanan nimo, lima ka ng 20 years na po, ang imong sakyanan anak, kagang-kagang na. So probably na po kay second car. Pwede po nga na kay second house, kay ang imong anak-anak, murag maminyo ay na po, gikawat ang imong balay, so na-displace ka, na po kay ikaduhang nga balay. Pero lisod po og na kay second family. Ayaw to ilabot ang second family. Pwede po nga na kay other kids. Okay? Nagkadako ang imong kids, nakadaghan. Kaliwat ni Abraham, managhan. Okay? And then, from age 60 to age 80, fourth quadrant, that is our retirement. So, sa karon, it is being proposed, and I believe, hapit na siguro, 55 pwede na mag-early retirement at age 55. Okay? So, hangtod, pwede pa ka magtrabaho hangtod 65. Pero ingon na lang nato from age 60 to age 80, that is your retirement stage. Dili na ka gatrabaho, anak. Okay? So, knowing this quadrant, we can now identify that the upper two quadrant, muna siya ang quadrant na wala kay income. Okay? I know you will agree with me. Sa panahon nga nag-eskwela ka, wa jud kay income. O sa panahon nga nag-retire ka, kay wa na kay trabaho, wala pud kay income. Unless na lang na kay ginatawag na to nga passive income, or naa kay, for example, naa kay business. And other source of income po nato sa atong retirement is our retirement benefits nato. Okay? So probably po kanang yes ma'am, nag-agree gid siya nga kaning upper two quadrant wala gid tay income, anak. Okay? Ang dris ilalo mura gyud na siya ang maka-generate gitag income. So that is about 40 years lang. 40 years ang atong i-prepare nga maningkamot ta nga mga kwarta ta para sa panahon nga mo retire ta na atay kwarta. Okay? Kay kung di ka maningkamot ang mga tuiga na unsa may kwartahon nimo, inig-retire nimo. Daghang na ay trabaho from age 20 to age 60, pag abot og 60 years old, wa na ay kwarta. Okay? Now, I believe na dili na sa tungod kay gamay og sweldo. I tell you, it is poor financial management. Kung di ka kabalo sa imong manage imong kwarta, dili magbase kung unsa kadako ang imong income. Okay? So, sultian ta mo, the only success or the only recipe for success in our finances is a proper financial management. Okay? So again, let me illustrate. I will give you another illustration. This is what we call as the social status or the triangle. Kung familiar mo sa kanta nga Tatsulok, ako na siyang gikopya. Pero i-base lang nako ni siya sa finances. Pila gani ka hours akong kwan gani? Ang time nga gigahin sa ko, Ma'am Jonah, murag 30 minutes akong giingon, no?
Opo, 30 minutes pero maximum 40 hours. I'm sorry. 40 minutes po.
Nakalimot na ko 30 minutes and 2 hours na ito akong ingon. Ibitaw, joke lang.
Ay,
Hapit na ni. Hapit na ni.
Okay lang, sir.
Okay, so this is now our illustration. The social trends, or in terms of finances, we have it is divided into four. The upper portion or the top portion of a triangle is what we call as the luxury kind of living. Okay, when we talk about luxury, you have more than enough finances. Okay, ang imong sweldo sobra-sobra pa nga ipalit nimo sa gusto nimo. Kung na kay gustong paliton, napagid kay sobra nga kwarta. That is what we call as luxury. The next level is comfortable. When we talk about comfortable, enough ang imong kuan, ang imong income when it comes to your spending power. Okay? Ang imong sweldo, enough ra gid siya nga masuplayan ang imong basic needs. O na siguro kay savings ginagmay. Ang tawag nato ana is comfortable living. We also have poor. Kaning poor is kuan gid sa less than or not enough, kumbaga not enough sa imong needs. Na kay sweldo pero dili siya enough to supply all your needs. Kulang pa kay palit sa imong pagkaon, kulang pa kay palit sa pagpag-eskwela sa imong mga anak. So na kay trabaho pero dili niya kayang i-suffice ang imong basic needs. Ang tawag nato ana is poor. We also have charity. Ang kanang charity wa gid na sweldo pero naay gasto. Kasagaran ana mga estudyante, charity na sila kay gadawat og kwarta silang ginikanan. Sige lang pangayo ba? Di ba? Pero wala sila naga-generate og income. Pero naa sila gastuhon nun. So ang tawag na charity. So daghan pud ani nga nagpuyo nga nagit sila sa level of charity. Now for us, ang atong desire gid is ang atong family nagit siya at least comfortable living. Okay, komportable gid atong pamilya makakaon 3 times a day. Okay? So unsa may buhaton nato, we need income. Okay? Kinahanglan naton income kay mo na siya ang mag-support sa atong way of living. Sama sa akong giingon kanina, ang purpose sa atong financial management is to maintain or to at least maintain our lifestyle. So, how do we do that? We need to supply income. So, sa nato pag-supply income, kinahanglan nato nga magtrabaho. Ang tawag nato ana is man at work. Okay? To increase your income, sama sa ganina, you should work hard for the promotion. Or, kung sama sa giingon ganina, kinahanglan nga ma-promote ka. Kung nakay business, you need to work hard para maka-earn kag daghang nga income. Pero kung nagtrabaho lang ka, kinahanglan nimo nga ma-promote para mo increase ang imong income. But what happens if the man at work is namatay or na-disable? Actually, there are 3 threats to income. Naitulo ka kanang threats sa atong income. Number 1 is a death. Mamatay ang nagtrabaho. Okay? Ang breadwinner, mamatay na siya. Another threat is the loss of job. Mawad-an og trabaho. Another threat or the last threat is a disability o disabled na, dili na makatrabaho. Okay? So, unsaon na lang tong income. So, once nga mawala na tong man at work, what will happen is that ang imong family will fall down at the category of either sa charity or sa poor. Which is unpleasant na para sa tuwa. Dili na to gusto nga mamalimos ta. Atong gusto gid nga ta sa comfortable living. So sa may buhaton ni para mobalik dito ang imong lifestyle, you need to have funds. Kinahanglan nimo bombahan og pundo para maangat siya paingon dito sa ang tawag po nato ana is money at work. Dili na siya man at work kundi dili money at work. Like loans, utang. Magsige na lang ta pangutang, utang ta and then nangutang ta para ibayad sa utang, and then mangutang na pud ta para ibayad sa atong giutang, gibayad sa utang. So ingana ang nahimo karon nga trend. Dili na siya man at work kundi dili money at work. Pero naay gwapo ani, kani ginatawag nato nga insurance. Yes ma'am, mayong hapon ma'am. Okay? Kanang ginatawag nato nga insurance. Ang insurance, isa ni siya sa mga dapat buhaton sa matag Pilipino unta nga nasa insurance just in case nga ang katong man at work is makompromise. Okay? Ang insurance karon mo tapal ato. Okay? So unsa karon ang na may daghang klaseng insurance no. Since I am a financial advisor of Sun Life Insurance, I can suggest or I can recommend you even if you are still students, kinahanglan nga nagitay idea or nagitay kwan aning insurance. Okay? Open-minded ta sa insurance tungod kay mura ni siya ang pamaagi nga mahimo kang financially stable and financially secured whatever happens ang kaning insurance. Actually dito sa sa Singapore, joke lang, bitaw ko taga Singapore. Dito sa Singapore required ang tanan nga mga trabahante dito nga nagit sila insurance. Okay? Okay, nasa Freedom Life. Very good. Okay? So what is now life insurance? What is life insurance is all about? We have different types of insurance. Isa lang ni siya na klase kaning life insurance. We also have non-life insurance. Halimbawa, ang imong sakyanan, murag ironic kaayo ba? Kung magpalit ka og sakyanan, ang imong sakyanan na insurance pero ang driver walay insurance. So kung madisgrasya, for example, madisgrasya, ang sakyanan maayo, ma-repair siya, pero ang driver nagpabilin sa hospital, dakog bill kay walay ikabayad. Kay why insurance. Okay, so ironic kaayo nga paminawon nga ang mga butang na insurance pero ang driver or ang tao wala insurance. So importante nga natay life insurance. So what is life insurance? We call as the transfer of risk. Sama sa akong giingon ganina, life is uncertain, wala ta kabalo kung kanos wala ta kabalo unsa mahitabo ugma kay sama sa akong giingon, because of pandemic nakit-an nga wala gid tay ginatawag nga security. Okay? Risgo permanente ang kinabuhi. That's why we need insurance to transfer that risk. Unsa man ang klase nga risk? Number one is the loss of job. Ang unsa kaha sa mga unahuna nga kung mawad-an kag trabaho nagihapon kay dawaton nga sweldo. Di ba nindot kayo? Wala kay trabaho pero kasweldo ka. Okay? That is one of the benefits of having an insurance. So natay daghang klaseng insurance nga ma-fit diha. We also have disability. Okay? What if sa imong trabaho, labi na katong mga risky nga mga trabaho like sa mga factory, okay? And then na-disable ka na, kanabitawng either di man nato gustuhon no, naputol ang kamot or naputol ang tail, di na able to perform the duties and responsibilities. What if na-disable ka but at the same time nagadawat gihapon kag sweldo, di ba nindot siya? That is what we call as the transfer of risk. And lastly, we have debt. Okay, sama sa akong giingon ganina, mo ni siya ang threats to income. Okay, disability, loss of job, and debt. So we are transferring those risks, not just dili lang sa atuan, although natay risk pero gamay lang kay gina-transfer nato ang risk from ourselves to the company. Okay, another purpose of life insurance is to protect your income. Okay, gusto ba mo nga kung mawad-an kag income o mawad-an kag trabaho, ang natay ginatawag nga income replacement fund, pasabot ana bisag wala na kay nahurot imong income na kay business tungod sa pandemic na wala na ka naka-business kay nag-close ang imong business, but then nagapadayon lang ang imong income. Okay, so isa na sa purpose sa insurance, ginaprotektahan niya ang imong income. O gusto kayo si Ma'am Bikay, o salamat ma'am. Number 3 is to protect your investment. Natay gina-invest, I believe nga as we have our own job, nagitay gusto nga invest. Mag-invest na sa balay, sa yuta, di ba? Gusto na itong invest na sa sakyanan, mag-invest na dito. How do you like nga kaning imong investment is maprotektahan nimo? For example, nag-invest ka sa balay, and then niabot karon nga namatay ang I don't know kung kailan mo atong isa gani ka vlogger, wa po ko kailaton niya pero nakabasa ko siya, vlogger na siya, katong bayot nga medyo tabaon, nga bag-o ra siya ni palit og balay pero namatay siya. So ang pangutana mangud sa uban, unsa kaha ang mahitabo siyang balay? Bawion, sayang kayong gikuan dito no. Actually naka-insure to siya sa Pag-ibig. Ang tawag ana niya is mortgage debt repayment plan. Pasabot ana nga kung mamatay tong katong nagpalit sa balay, automatic bayad na ang iyang balay kay naka-insure man siya. Okay, so in other words, giprotektahan to yung investment nga balay, dili marimati. Ang uban pod, mopalit sila sakyanan, utang siya for 5 years, ang ginakuha nila is a traditional insurance for 5 years, just in case nga may tabo sa driver, dili bawian sa kumpanya ang sakyanan. So giprotektahan gyapon ang iyang investment. Okay? We also protecting your asset. Sa man akong presentation, sige na lang. Protecting your asset. Okay? We have real estate tax. Okay? When we talk about asset, for example, ang atong yuta. Ang karon, ang yuta manggod, nagabayad kita na og tax. Pag mamatay na ang tag-iya ng yuta, katong nakapangalan sa even anang kanabitaw kanang pag mamatay na ang tag-iya sa yuta, natay ginabayran ana nga real estate tax. Okay? Ug kana sa nga presyo astang mahala. Mahal kay na siya. Ug kung dili nimo mabayaran ang imong real estate tax, bawion sa gobyerno ang imong yuta nga gipaghirapan sa imong mga ginikanan. Sayang kaayo ang imong asset. So kung naa ka insurance, ang insurance kayo karon mo nay magbayad sa real estate tax. Okay? So dili magbawi sa gobyerno ang imong asset kay naa kay ikabayad because of insurance. Okay? Na pina-comment rin ganina about sa bank, kanang mga loan sa bank. Yes, naana siya insurance. Gina-insure na siya kay in case nga mamatay ang borrower, dili magbago ang pamilya. Okay? Kaya kung wala ka insurance, I tell you, naagit kay pamana sa imong pamilya. Ang pinakauna nimong pamana na utang. Okay? Murag lisod po kayo nga ipamana nimo ang utang dito sa imong pamilya. And lastly, we have our healthcare. What gusto ba ka nga kung magkasakit ka na kay ginatawag na to nga critical illness fund. Okay, na magbayad mo sa hospital. And then ako na lang ni dali-dalion kay murag time na gid ko, infusion of cash flow, ang tawag po nato ana lump sum cash. Pasabot ana nga inigretire nimo lump sum ang imong madawat, and then protecting your future. And this is ang product nga usually ginabaligya sa Sun Life Insurance, the variable universal life plan. So unsa may pasabot ani, it is insurance plus investment. In other words, nana kay insurance, nana kay investment. Okay? Dili ka pero kaning investment is kuan ni siya kanang for future plans. Actually, pwede nimo magamit ni siya anytime, but then usually ang VUL is for future plans. Mura kang naga-savings, instead nga mag-save, pinabutang na nimo sa investment para mutubo po siya, mas dako ang iyang tubo. Okay? So if you have question, you can if you have questions about the VUL, okay, you can message me, i-kuan lang ko, i-text lang ko, i-chat lang ko, or i-contact ko. I can answer you with this one. Okay? Lastly, tagaan ta lang mo isa ka ipon tips. Number 1, you should keep track of your net worth. Kinahanglan nga makabalo ka sa imong gigasto. Pila na ang imong kwarta, pila na ang imong net worth. Okay? Ang net worth nimo, your net worth is the amount by which your asset exceeds your liability. Okay? Natay positive net worth pasabot ana, mas dako kag asset kaysa sa imong liability. Naputay negative net worth, mas dako ang imong liability kaysa sa imong asset. Okay, mas dako kag utang kaysa sa imong income mo ni pasabot ana. Number 2, ipon tips, you have to spend wisely. Dapat kabalo ka unsa paggasto sa imong kwarta. Dili pasabot nga kaya nimong paliton ang isa ka butang, imo dayon na siyang paliton. Dili pasabot nga nagdawat kag bonus, igastohon na nimo tanan. Dapat kung na kay bonus, it is your opportunity to save. Kung na kay increase imong sweldo, the increase of your salary does not mean increase in your expenses. Kundi increase in your salary means increase in your savings. Okay, dito na nimo ibutang sa imong savings. Okay? And then pay down debt. Pasabot ana, kung mangutang ka, mangita kag pinaka barato nga kanang kuan, pinaka barato nga interest. Dili ka mangita atong dako gyud. Okay, so munang ginatawag nato nga pay down interest. Reviewing your assets and liabilities can help you develop a plan for paying down debt. Okay? Pwede man ka mangutang, dili man na siya no good. Kung kinahanglan nimo mangutang, be sure nga mangutang ka. Number 1, kaya nimong bayaran. Ikaduha, dapat mag-invest po siya. Ay kanang mag-increase po siya. And lastly, you need to save and invest. Sama sa kung giingon ganina, savings, you save for future plans and save for investment. You need to save and invest. Savings, that is for emergency needs, kasi nga yung mas liquid man gud na siya kung nagit kay kwarta. Yung investment usahay lisod na siya, dili na siya basta-basta ma-convert into cash. So kanang savings ang ganaingon diri, at least na kay cash, kanang investment katong tawo na to nga dili siya liquid nga mga investment like real estate or bisan sa nga mga investment na gusto nimo. Okay? And lastly, this is now wala din ako nabutang sa akong curriculum vitae. Aside from being a financial advisor in Sun Life Grepa, I am also a pastor of one of the church here in Bansalan. So I gusto na ko ni-include sa akong istorya karon kay nagatuo ko isagin ni siya sa pinakakong factor nganong mahimo tang financial stable. Number 1, according to sa 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10, for the love of money is the root of all kind of evil. Dili po ang kwarta ang evil, but the love of money is the root of all evil. Okay? So what is now the key to spiritual blessing? Number one, give your tithes faithfully. Kabalo mo ng tithes, 10% of your gross income. Okay? Para ginas Ginoo, ayon na sa hilabti. Kay once kay mo nang hilabdan, ang tawag na pagpangawat. But then, I believe that the key to spiritual blessing, mo gini siyang pinakauna, you have to give your tithes faithfully. Dili ni mo na siya ihikaw sa Ginoo, kay iya man na siya. Number two, give your offerings heartily. Kanang ini kung maghatag ka, dili nang magbagulbol. Dili ka magsigig reklamo. Kada bitaw usay mo hatag ka sa mga mangayo, mo reklamo pagit ka kadako nimo glawas, way trabaho. Kung muhatag ka, muhatag way pagbagulbol. Okay? That's number two. Number three, share your blessings generously. You need to share your blessings generously. Ang purpose nganong dili para mahimo tang hakog, kundi dili para mahimo tang manggihatagon labi na sa mga tawo nga nagkinahanglan. Okay? Kung saon man nimo nang daghang kay kagkwarta, di man nimo madala sa langit. Okay? Bahin-bahinon na sa imong anak pag abot sa panahon nga mawala na ta. So, you need to share your blessings generously. And lastly, you have to spend the rest with praise and thanksgiving. Kung mo gasto lang man ka, be sure nga kana imong gastuhan maghatag og himaya ug dungog sa Ginoo. So I think that's all for my topic this afternoon. Thank you. If you have question, you can find me or you can email me at linenoreyhtihada@sunlifegrepa.com.ph or pwede po sa akong DepEd account, linorey.tihada@deped.gov.ph. You can text me 0950-759-4827 o pangitaan lang po ko sa Facebook. Pasensya na kayo mo kung makuan ko sa Facebook, wala kayo kong post, but I am very willing to reply and to respond to your queries. So that's all. Thank you for the time imong gihatag sa mua, sa kuha personally. I hope and I pray nga daghan tayo nakatunan, and it's my prayer to all of us nga mahimutang financially wealthy for the glory and for the honor of God. Thank you very much po.
Thank you so much, Sir Lainyo. Ayun. Ayun, marami-rami din kaming natutunan din, no, sa presentation. Kaya for now, without any further ado, let us introduce our next speaker. So, in this case, reminder lang pala later on sa last part ng webinar na to, meron kaming pa-mini game. So, later na yon. Oo. Alright, so in this case, this second speaker of ours is a college and the university. So, he's a graduate in College of the University of the Philippines in Visayas, BS Business Administration, and he is a major in marketing. So, he's also a field sales officer BPI year 2013 to 2014 and an investment advisor of BPI 2017 to 2019, an assistant business manager of BPI Iloilo Pasig branch from 2020 up until the present, and he is an enhanced UITF certification from the Trust Institute Foundation of the Philippines. And last but not the least, this speaker is a certified investment solicitor by the Securities and Exchange Commission. So let us give a warm applause for no other than Sir Ronald Oquendo. Alright. Good afternoon, Sir Ronald. Ayan. Hello po, sir.
Okay, good afternoon, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes. Opo.
Okay. Sige, let me share my presentation lang. Sorry, first time kasing gumamit ng Google Meet. Wait.
Kaya po pala.
Share na.
It's okay po.
Share. Ayun.
Presenting na po. Okay, so I guess right now I will
Perfect.
give the stage to you, Sir Ronald. Okay,
Thank you, John.
you're welcome.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers of this event. Galing ni Jonah. Special shout out to Jonah. Ang galing mang-stock eh. Nahanap pa talaga ako sa Iloilo. One of the Thank you, John. That's okay. And I salute the students of this university for really being proactive in looking for speakers na ganito nga kasi hindi nyo naman line of profession to kasi BS Ed kayo, and it's a good thing that you guys are organizing things like this kasi how I wish nung nasa UP ako that we've had kuya or sirs na nag-speak din sa amin regarding money kasi to be honest with you guys, kahit anong profession in the world, in the Philippines, kahit anong profession, pa-doktor ka man, or seafarer, or teacher, firefighter, the only common denominator na pina-problem natin lahat, kahit anong work, kahit anong business yan, is money. Money makes the world go round. I'm a realist person. I'm not gonna share with you guys anything na parang idealistic or parang hindi siya true to what's happening in the world. So, gusto ko lang, I'll just make this quick kasi baka natutulog na yung iba sa inyo. I'll just make this quick. I'll just make this like a conversation between you guys and your Kuya Ron, and I hope na marami rin kayong ma-learn. Okay, so the title of my presentation or conversation with you this afternoon is called Asset and Wealth Management, #Adulting Feels. Kasi I think last 2 weeks ba yun? Ginawa ko rin to sa isang university dito sa Iloilo. And it's quite challenging actually na ano. Can you guys turn on your cameras? Yung mga willing lang naman.
Nako. Nakakakilala ito.
Sige, pattern na lang kasi nasasanay kasi ako na nagbibigay ng talk sa audience. And ang hirap pag walang parang interaction, parang hindi ko nakikita o tumatawa ba kayo or umiiyak or yung iba tulog na ba. Okay. Kahit ikaw lang dyan, okay na yan. Tawa-tawa ka na lang kahit corny yung mga jokes ko. Okay. So, let's start. And also pala may sasabihin na ako sa inyo guys. One of the, if there's a profession that I truly respect the most, it's the academic profession. It's being a teacher and a professor. My grandparents are teachers. My mom is a teacher. My aunts are teachers. My sister is teaching in Indonesia right now. And I think calling ko rin na maging teacher. Kaya nga hindi ako nagdalawang isip nung in-invite ako ni Jonah to speak. Because I love doing these things. I love teaching and nurturing young minds. And I love really sharing information. Kahit minsan natutulog na yung iba, okay lang naman. Kahit nabobore sila sa akin. Bahala sila kasi I have the floor, di ba? But I love, I'm thinking of last year pa, I'm thinking maybe this is my calling. I love speaking in crowds din and I was thinking of resigning sa BPI and maybe taking education units para makapag-teach na rin kasi I think it has been my passion for a while now. Hindi ko lang na-act pa. And let's go. Okay, so first, let us define yung kung ano bang nangyayari sa pag naging adult na kayo. I think adult naman na kayo ngayon eh. You guys are 18, 19, 21 years old. But I just want you guys to know na don't feel like an adult yet. Feel like a kid pa. Kasi pag nagtatrabaho na kayo and you get jobs na, I'm telling you guys, it's a whole new ball game. Mag-iiba talaga yung paningin niyo sa world. Mas ma-appreciate niyo yung ginagawa ng parents sa inyo pag kayo na yung nagbabayad ng electricity bills niyo, yung water bills niyo. Pag kayo na yung nagbabayad ng insurance niyo, okay? If kayo na nagpapaaral dun sa younger sister niyo, younger siblings niyo. Okay? So, mas ma-appreciate niyo yung value ng money especially kapag adults na kayo. And in order to prepare you for this, ang galing na nag-organize kayo ng ganito kahit hindi naman kayo business students. Kasi usually yung audience ko nito, business students eh. And again, maganda kasi kahit ed students kayo, at least alam nyo kung paano i-manage yung funds nyo. Kasi ganun din naman, magiging teachers kayo for money. Don't tell me na parang Hindi, kasi ano ko talaga yun, passion ko talaga yun na mag-teach na since kindergarten ako, pag tinanong ako ng teacher ako, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a teacher, I want to teach. Di ba? Of course, ganun din naman talaga. I know that it's your passion, but at the end of the day, you have to feed yourself, you have to feed your family, you have to live. Kasi hindi ka naman mabubuhay ng walang pera eh. Di ba? So it's very unrealistic to say na hindi namin kailangan to kasi ed students naman kami or magiging teachers naman kami. So bakit kailangan namin aralin about financial management, di ba? And it's a good thing na ang galing ni Sir Lai, no? Ang galing ng mga ng presentation niya and to be honest, biases aside, one of my favorite na insurance providers talaga si Sun Life eh. Kasi payroll ni Sun Life is BPI. They pay the policyholders of Sun Life pay through BPI. So we have the partnership with Sun Life for the longest time na rin. And I'm thinking of getting another policy with Sun Life. So ang galing ni Sir Lino. Again, so what is asset and what is wealth? Asset is anything that generates value or in simple terms, pag sinasabi mo kasing value, something that makes you happy. Ano ba yung nagpapasaya sa'yo? So yung asset, hindi lang yon pera or hindi lang yon negosyo or hindi lang yon any material things. Asset could be anything tangible and intangible. Meaning, for example, talented kang magdraw or kumanta. Asset mo yon. Talented kang sumayaw, for example. Most of the companies, sometimes sinahire lang yung iba kasi magaling sumayaw pang Christmas party, di ba? It's a talent and it's an asset of you. Pag nagpatayo ka ng sari-sari store, yung inventory mo, yung mga snacks mo dyan, yung inventory mo ng soft drinks, it's an asset. So anything that gives your life value or profit is an asset. Now, on the other hand, yung wealth is the accumulation of that said value. Meaning, yung wealth kasi is very subjective eh. Iba-iba yung definition natin ng wealth eh. Sometimes yung wealth ng iba revolves around money. Sometimes yung wealth ng iba revolves around spending time with friends or your family. And especially in this pandemic, I know it's very hard for you guys, walang face-to-face. Ang sinasabi nga natin always, di ba, health is wealth, di ba? Especially ngayong may COVID. So, health is also is very valuable to each and every one of us as well. So, we have to manage our finances in order to be successful in these two categories, in building your assets and building your wealth eventually. Now, you may have read or heard about this. Money can't buy happiness. Tama nga naman. Kasi yung happiness, again, it's a very subjective thing. Maybe iba pag yung happiness nila is playing video games. Yung iba naman, yung happiness nila is browsing TikTok or YouTube. Yung iba naman, yung happiness nila is makapag-chat sa crush nila. Sobrang saya na nila, di ba? Iba-iba din kasi tayo ng definition ng happiness. So money can't buy that one because it's not a single entity. Okay? But what money can buy you is time and freedom. Actually, pag nagtrabaho na kayo later on, if you become teachers, di ba? Ang mangyayari, you won't have time for your family, your friends, you won't have time for yourself. Kasi, gagawa kayo ng, I don't know kung anong ginagawa ng teachers, lesson plans, presentations ngayong walang face-to-face, gagawa kayo ng mag-check kayo ng mga modules ng students nyo. Tapos, di ba, sisuldohan kayo nun. So, yung sweldo nyo, ibibili nyo ng necessities nyo, yung wants nyo, ng needs nyo. So, essentially, the thing that you're buying those things is not money, it's your time. Kasi pinagpalit mo yung time na yun eh. In return for money. So, I'm pretty sure na gusto nyo, mas madami kayong time sa self nyo, sa family nyo, sa friends nyo, and mas gusto nyo ng freedom. So, money can buy you that. I'm pretty sure na yung billionaires like Elon Musk or Bill Gates, mas madami silang time for themselves. Or kung gustuhin talaga nila, kahit hindi pa sila magtrabaho or mag-business for the next 150 years, mabubuhay yung mga kaapu-apuhan nila because they have billions. Unlike pag construction worker ka, di ba? Paycheck to paycheck ka lang, kung minsan yan, nangungutang ka pa eh, di ba? So, money can't buy happiness, but it can certainly buy you freedom and time for your family and friends and for yourself as well. So what should you do to accumulate money? And I'm gonna be real with you guys. Ang hirap mag-save ng pera. I've been with BPI for the past 8.5 years. It's my first job when I graduated from UP. Ang hirap, gusto ko lang din talaga sabihin sa inyo na the concepts that na sinasabi namin sa inyo ni Sir Lino, these are just concepts until you act on it. These are just plans until you implement them. And ang hirap i-implement na mga ganito realistically kasi medyo kulang din talaga yung sinisweldo natin as middle class people. And if you're not a CEO or a vice president of a company, medyo ang hirap nung pag middle class na ano ka lang, employed ka lang na nasa middle ano ka lang ng hierarchy. Okay, so na-cover na rin to kanina ni Sir Lino. Ang ganito din naman ang recommendation namin na taga BPI and pretty much any other commercial bank like BDO or Metro Bank. Again, I'm not gonna sell my bank to you guys kasi hindi naman to, ayokong pinopromote talaga si BPI sa talk na to. Gusto ko lang talaga ma-impart yung kung ano nangyayari sa akin ngayon as an adult. I'm in my 20s. I want to abuse that as much as possible kasi I'm just 29. I'm turning 30 next year. So gusto ko lang sabihin, I'm in my 20s, pero 1 year na lang din naman pala. Okay, so I'm still in my 20s, pero ang hirap. I'm 29 years old. I've been working for 8 years. And hindi pa naman ganun kalaki yung savings na, or I'm sometimes struggling pa rin with my finances. So I just want you guys to be ready about that. And hindi naman sa pagmamayabang, I'm earning a lot from BPI and I'm thankful for my company for that. Once you save at least 10 to 20% of your income, i-follow nyo lang yung formula ni Sir Lino kanina. Income, less expenses, less savings. Tabi nyo muna yung 10 to 20%. And yung lifestyle nyo na yung mag-adjust dun sa expenses na natitira. Okay? So, bawasan nyo na yung pag-milk tea or bibili ng gadgets. Okay? So, ganun lang na naman. Yung lifestyle nyo dapat yung nag-adjust sa sweldo nyo, hindi the other way around. So, hindi kayo dapat nangungutang just to buy an iPhone, di ba? Unless it gives you value talaga. But you have to have the cash flow. Dapat meron kang pera for that. Okay? And investing means making your money work for you. Okay, na-cover na rin to kanina ni Sir Lino. Emergency fund is what we call the just-in-case fund, just in case something happens to you guys like medical illness, like ang COVID, na pandemic, loss of job, natural calamities, for example, bumagyo, tapos na tumba yung puno sa bahay nyo. It's an emergency as well kasi papaayos nyo yung bahay nyo. So, most of the financial advisors, yung sinasabi kasi nila 6 times your monthly income. Ako, personally, okay na sa akin yung at least 6 times your monthly expenses. Yung may panggagastos lang kayo for the next 6 months. So for example, if you're earning 20,000, tapos yung expenses nyo lang din naman is 15,000. So 6 times 15 lang. Hindi kailangan ng buong income nyo. Yung mabubuhay lang kayo until you find another job or until you recover from that calamity or from that disease. Okay? So kailangan meron kayo nito before kayo mag-invest. So what are the reasons why we should invest our money? Number 1 is to beat inflation. And number 2 is to reach the objectives you have for yourself and for your family. So what is inflation? Inflation is the natural rise in prices. Kahit yung mga first world countries like US, Japan, Canada, sabihin mo, di ba, hindi na nagtataas dapat yung price nila kasi progressive na silang country. Inflation kasi is like part of economy. Parang ano na yun eh. Parang natural phenomenon na rin siya na nangyayari sa every economy in the world. So, kung nanonotice nyo, every year, tumataas yung prices ng goods and services sa Pilipinas. And in turn, yung nangyayari, lower na yung spending power natin. So, for example, yung 500, nung 2006, buhay na ba kayo nun? Buhay na kayo nun. Sige, lagay ko na lang mga 2013. So, mga ilang years na kayo nun. High school na kayo nun. Pag nag-grocery kayo before, noong 2013, yung 500 pesos nyo, small cart pa yun sa SM eh. Or kung anong sikat dyan sa Davao, KCC. Okay. Pag nag-grocery kayo sa mga ganyan, di ba parang isang maliit na cart pa yung 500 nyo ngayon, pag nag-grocery kayo sa SM, yung 500 nyo, malalagay nyo na lang siya sa dalawang hands niya eh. Ano na lang yun eh. Pringles, Pancit Canton, ilan na lang yung ma-afford niyo sa 500 pesos. And that's the concept of inflation. Every year, tumataas yung presyo ng mga bilihin natin. So to give you another perspective, I work in a bank. So minsan, tumutulong ako dun sa mga tellers ko na pag madami kaming cash na kailangang i-deposit. Tumutulong ako dun sa tellers ko na mag-count. And then again, I noticed na yung pinakaunang mutilate or unfit for circulation na pera, yung nalulukot and nadidestroy na pera is yung 20 peso bill. And that shows you na yung 20 pesos talaga, hindi mo na siya nagagastos sa mall eh. Nagagastos mo na lang siya sa public market, sa commute. So meaning, ang bilis niyang ma-mute, ang bilis niyang masira. So what Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas did, the producer of our currency, is I think this year nag-launch na rin sila eh. And next year, I think full-blown na. Wala na kayo makitang papel na 20 pesos. I think ngayon wala na masyado kayo nakikita eh. Wala na masyadong circulate. Kasi yung dinidistribute na sa amin is coins na. So literal na barya na talaga yung 20. So meaning wala ka nang masyadong nabibili sa 20 kasi barya na siya eh. And that's a product of inflation, I think ha. That's from my personal perspective. Feeling ko talaga kasi mas magastos sa BSP na bills yung pinapalabas nila na 20 kasi ang bilis lang din niyang masira. So for the past 10 years, the prices in the Philippines has been increasing for 2.9% every year. Meaning yung presyo ng cellphones, ng groceries, ng gas has been increasing for almost 3% every year yan for the past 10 years. So ilan yan? 29% na yung in-increase nung mga bilihin, yung prices ng goods from 2011 until today. So ang laki nun. And industry standards, pag nag-deposit ka sa amin, sa BDO, sa Metrobank, sa East West, pag nag-deposit ka ng money mo sa savings account, what you'll be earning on average is just 0.125%. So meaning, kinakain nung inflation yung value ng money mo, meaning yung 100 pesos mo ngayon, pagdating ng January 1 next year, nag-depreciate na yung value niya. So mga 97 pesos na lang yung value niya ng mabibili mo. Okay, so ganun yung concept ng inflation. So kailangan mong i-invest yung money mo, not in a savings account. You have to invest it in something na gives you higher, lalo na yung piggy bank nyo sa bahay nyo o yung lata, lalo nang walang interest yun, so 0% talaga yun. So kailangan kayong maghanap ng instruments or securities na magbibigay sa inyo ng higher interest rates. So before investing, you have to know your hero. Dito Avengers na hero, baka sabihin. Spider-Man No Way Home. Hero meaning you have to know your horizon, your experience, your risk tolerance, and objectives or your goals. So ano yung horizon? 'Di ba yung pag nag-drawing kayo nung bata kayo, 'di ba nag-drawing kayo nung dagat, 'di ba may line, tapos may sun, nilagyan niyo ng sun. Yung line na kung saan nagmi-meet yung sun tsaka yung horizon 'yon, meaning kung ano yung natatanaw mo. Okay, kung hanggang saan yung natatanaw ng mata mo. So horizon meaning how long will you stay invested? So to give you guys an idea, pag nag-invest kayo ngayon sa stock market, if you invest in stocks, the minimum of that is, I think, meron na ngayon mga stock brokers na nag-allow ng 1,000 pesos. Pero I think on average, mga 5,000. Ma-afford nyo yan, and definitely pag nagkatrabaho na kayo. For example, you have 5,000 pesos. Pag pumasok kayo sa BPI, tapos meretso kayo sa table ko, tatanong kayo, sir, saan kaya pwedeng ilagay yung pera ko? Saan kaya pwedeng i-trade? Saan kaya pwedeng invest? Tatanungin muna kita. So, hanggang kailan mo ba kayang hindi makita yung 5,000 pesos mo? Baka kasi may kailangan kang bilhin within the year or baka may project ka next year, di ba? So, you have to ask yourself that. Kasi hindi rin namin alam yan as bankers, as financial advisors. Hindi namin alam kung kailan mo ulit gagamitin yung 5,000 mo. So, is it 1 year? Is it 3 to 5 years? Is it for your retirement na? So, okay na sa'yo i-let go yan for the next 10 years. So, kailangan mo i-determine yun within yourself. Experience. Ilang years ka na ba nag-i-invest? Ilang seminars na ba gaya nito ang attendan mo? Di ba? Ilang TikTok videos na ba about cryptocurrency or stocks yung napanood mo, di ba? So, it's all part of your experience. So, you have to assess yourself as well kung minimal ba yung alam mo or expert ka na ba in this kind of things. Risk tolerance. Kasi sa savings, again, what you see is what you get. So pag nag-invest ka ng money sa amin, tapos nagsabi kami 0.125% per annum, bibigay namin sa iyo yun, fix yun. So every month may papasok sa passbook mo or sa ATM mo na pera na as interest. On the other hand, sa investments naman, pwedeng kainin yung pera mo. So for example, yung 5,000 mo the following day for 999 na lang siya nabawasan ng piso. Pwedeng mangyari yun. Yung principal mo sa investments pwedeng mabawasan. So you have to ask yourself, gaano ba ako magpapanic if I lose money in investments? If I lose all of my money, half of my money, 80% of my money, yun yung definition ng risk tolerance. Kung ano yung level of heart attack mo pag bumaba yung pera mo. Okay? Next. Objectives. Ito, iba-iba naman tayo ng goals. Pero I think, meron din naman tayong mga common goals like car, a house, a good life for our family. So, ito yung mga, I think, templates ni BPI ng mga goals ng clients namin. Minention ito kanina ni Sir Lino. Pag sinabi mong lifestyle, yun yung day-to-day na nangyayari sa life mo. So, lifestyle means if you commute to school kasi wala kayong kotse, it's part of your lifestyle. If you, again, yung sinabi ni Sir Lino, if you eat 3 times a day, that's part of your lifestyle. If you drink milk tea twice a week, that's part of your lifestyle. Pag nagpapaload ka ng ano ba yan, go surf 90 every week, that's part of your lifestyle. Yung lahat ng nangyayari sa life mo every day, nang sustain ng happiness mo, ng life mo, that's lifestyle. Education, I think hindi pa naman sa inyo to kasi wala pa naman kayong anak. Or unless meron dito may mga anak. Yung education, sa mga clients naman namin, yung goals nila shifts from themselves to their kids. Kasi ang mahal ng education, alam niyo yan kasi teachers kayo eh. Ang mahal ng tuition fee, ang mahal ng mga nire-require sa school, mga photocopy, handouts, books, di ba? Ang mahal nun. And dapat you have to prepare for that if you plan to have kids. If you don't plan to have kids naman, that's fine. Retirement, again, you guys are 80 to 21 years old. So you will be retiring in I guess, mga 30, 40 years from now. And one of the mistakes that Filipinos make from the past generations until now is not preparing for the retirement as early as possible. So meaning, yung retirement kasi ng parents natin, tayo eh. Yung retirement plan nila tayo. Wala silang sinave, wala silang ininvest, wala silang tinagong pera just in case na wala na silang income later on. Wala silang panggasto sa selves nila. And that's okay. I have nothing against our parents and our grandparents naman because, again, hindi sila educated about these things. Walang mga ganitong seminars before, noong 70s, 80s, 90s. Ngayon lang din to eh, yung financial management seminars. So, since tayo, Generation C na kayo eh, and kami millennials, since the information is at the tip of our fingers, so dapat we should know better na yung kids natin, we should break that cycle na huwag natin gawing retirement plan yung kids natin na sabihin nyo sa anak nyo, pinaaral kita, pinakain kita, pinagraduate kita. So in turn, if you get a job, dapat ibabalik mo yung favor sa akin. And it's okay if you do that to your parents, but please don't do that to your kids anymore. Okay? I-break na natin yon sa dalawang generation na sinabi ko kanina. Yes, tama yung kay sinabi ni Sir. Break the stigma, kumbaga. Tama na yung let's leave that practice to the older generations that came before us. So, dapat tayo ngayon, we should prepare for when we retire eventually. Next, kasi yung retirement, yung meron kaming term nun sa banking and sa finance. You should have a retirement nest. Yung nest, yung pugad ng birds. You should have a retirement nest. Na pag nag-retire ka at the age of 60 and you plan to, hindi naman plan to live kasi hindi naman alam kailan ka mamamatay. If you intend, or hindi rin intend if you foresee that you would live for the next 25 years, at 85 years old yung mamamatay, or 90, 30 years. So dapat at 60, meron kang retirement nest na ganito, na nagka-catch up siya sa inflation, like for example, 2 million, 5 million, na pwede mo siyang gastusin for yourself for the next 25 years, na wala ka nang, pag nag-retire kasi wala ka ng income eh. So kailangan may retirement nest ka to prepare for those years. And one of the goals that we have as well is to maximize returns kasi ang baba nga nung sa passbook and ATM na mga na returns. So you have to maximize your returns in other vessels of investment. So what are your options? In the investment world, the most common markets there's two. Number one is money market and the other one is capital markets. So as the name suggests, yung capital markets later, di-discuss ko siya na kumukuha ng capital. Okay? Yung money market, anything that matures in less than a year. So for example, gumraduate na kayo, nagka-sweldo na kayo, papasok kayo sa isang bank. Pag naglagay kayo sa isang time deposit, yung time deposit kasi mas malaki yung yung rate niya from the usual savings account na ATM, passbook. Yung may terms yon, hindi mo magagalaw yung pera mo for the next 30 years, 30 days, 60 days, 2 months, 180 days, and 360 days or 1 year. So yung time deposit naman, it's part of the money market, meaning anything na medyo conservative lang. Mababa yung returns pero medyo sure siya na na mababalik yung pera mo. One of the more common examples of money market is yung nasa baba, treasury bills. Treasury bills, yun utang ng government yon. Kasi sabihin nyo, baka nangungutang pala yung government, wala ba silang pera? Di ba? Treasury bills kasi, yun, short term yun, parang time deposit ng government. So for example, magsasabi sila sa public, hey public, if you have an extra 5,000, 50,000 pesos, mangungutang kami sa inyo kasi kulang kami nung pangsweldo sa teachers, sa firefighters, sa mga government employees. Kasi, di ba si government may BIR, yun yung revenue stream natin. Nagko-collect sila ng taxes, tapos yung mga fees na binabayad natin sa LTO, pag kumuha kayo ng passport sa DFA, those are the revenues of the government. Sometimes kasi kinukuha nilang revenues hindi enough sa expenses nila sa mga empleyado nila and sa mga expenses ng mga government offices. So they issue treasury bills. Pwede mong ipautang yung money mo actually sa government through investment banks, land bank, mga ganon. Pwede yun. And in turn, magbibigay ng interest sa government sa inyo. And that's part of money market kasi safe yun kasi sa government, sure yun, nababayaran niyo yung pera niyo. Kasi if they run out of money, they could just spend money anytime. Kasi pagmamayari naman nila yung Bangko Sentral. Bonds. So we're moving now to the capital markets. Bonds and stocks, bali yung dalawa dun sa capital market. Bonds are basically utang lang din. Pero longer term lang siya. So bonds are basically utang ng either government or an established corporation. So sino na ba dito sa inyo yung nautangan na ng friend? Di ba? Pag pumunta kayo cafeteria, tapos, friend, wala pala akong dalang pera, di ba? Kalibre naman ng pancit canton or ng Gatorade. Okay, di ba? Most of the time, hindi na nababayaran yan. Di ba? Pag nangutang yung kapitbahay sa inyo, hindi na nababayaran yan. So you lose the money and you lose the friend as well. The joke lang. In those kind of cases, yung mga ganong utang, wala yung contract lang yun, verbal. So, wala kang habol sa kanya, di ba? And si bonds naman, formal contract yan between you and the government or between you and any corporation. So, for example, ano bang sikat na corporation? Si SM na lang, para alam ng lahat. Si SM, for example, magpapatayo ng mall dyan sa inyo, sa Digos. Okay? So, for example, magpapatayo siya ng SM sa Digos. Tapos, so kulang sila ng capital for that. So magsasabi sila sa public na pautangin niyo kami for a minimum 50,000, will give you 5% per annum for the next 5 years. So 5 years mo hindi makikita yung pera mo. That's how bonds work. Ganun lang din. Kumbaga additional capital lang siya ng either government or corporation. Si government naman ang utang yun to fund like infrastructure projects, like yung build. Kinukulang din kasi tayo minsan ng pera for that. So this is how bonds work. Just to give you an idea lang. So for example, let's just put that example na lang si SM na lang. So for example, sabihin ni SM sa'yo, magkukontrata tayong dalawa. Meron kang extra 1 million dyan. Kahiram naman kasi papatayo nga kami ng mall sa Digos. Bibigyan kita ng 4% per annum. Per year yan, per year. For the next 5 years. Sorry. Okay, so at year 0 or yung first year na nag-contract kayo ni SM, di ba ikaw, mawawalan ka ng 1 million kasi bibigay mo nga siya sa SM. Kasi pampabuild nila nung SM. At year 1, you will receive what we call coupon payments or interest payments. You will receive 40,000. Bakit 40,000? Kasi di ba 4% nung 1 million na binigay mo kay SM is 40,000 pesos. So after year 1, bibigay sa'yo ng SM yung interest na pinramis niya sa'yo. Year 2, another 40,000. Year 3, another 40. Year 4, another 40. Pwedeng pwedeng quarterly. So for example, quarterly every 3 months, you will receive 10,000 pesos. Okay, ganun siya. And at year 5, babalik na niya yung 1 million mo kasi nga 5 years lang yung term ng bonds nyo. And the final coupon payment that you have. So all in all, magkano yung na-earn mo? 40, so 5 times 40, 200. 200,000 plus. So you're up 1.2 million. Okay, so that's how bonds work. Pwede ka mag-invest sa mga ganyan directly sa government or sa corporation. Pwede ka rin dumaan sa mga bangko to invest in those things. And I think this is the juicy one for the younger generation, yung stocks or equities. Stocks are basically ownership in a corporation. Okay? So, what do I mean by that? Ang minimum kasi nito ngayon, around 1,000, 5,000 lang din eh. When you buy a stock of a company, you become part owner technically of that company. Kahit maliit lang yun, you become a shareholder. Meron ba nanonood ng K-drama dito? Nahilig kasi ako sa K-drama. Si
Guys,
Jonah yan.
ano na?
Si Jonah na
Ay,
nanonood yan.
iba po.
Mukha siyang K-pop eh. The joke. Anyways, yung merong isang K-drama that's titled The Heirs. Si Park Shin-hye yun, tsaka si Lee Min-ho. It's about heirs, meaning tagapagmana ng companies nila. So it talks about stocks and ownership of the company, kung ikaw ba yung majority stockholder, di ba? And medyo technical lang siya. Ayoko lang tumagal dito kasi you can research this on your own din naman. Everything is in the internet naman. If kaya mo siyang i-let go yung money mo for the next 5-10 years, kung pang-retirement mo na yung company mo, lagay mo siya sa stocks. Bili ka ng stocks ng mga blue chip corporations like SM, Ayala, yung mga malalaking names, Jollibee, yung mga alam mo lang na names, yung malalaking corporations na talaga. And if you buy, like for example, Camellia, yung kay Manny Villar, if you buy stocks of Camellia, of that subdivision, you become part owner of that subdivision. So for example, maganda yung business, yung nangyayari sa business nila, yung malaking income nila, you take part in that. Kumbaga kumikita ka sa mga ganun. Nag-increase yung price ng stocks nila. Again, in this slide, I want you guys to take a screenshot of this one and keep this perpetually forever na sa cellphones nyo, or if old school kayo, isulat nyo sa papel. Make sure lang na nakatago yung papel. This is the way to go. These are the beginner friendly and magandang lagyan ng pera nyo if you become teachers or kung ano mang gustong profession nyo later on. Sige, lista nyo lang. I won't discuss this kasi alam ko na info overload na rin kayo eh. UITF, mutual funds, and yung diniscuss kanina Sir Lino, which is VUL, Variable Universal Life Insurance. Lahat yan pooled funds, meaning pag sinabi mo kasing pool, pinagsama-sama yung pera nyong lahat ng investors. Ito yun eh. How do these things work? I think, na-screenshot nyo na ba? I'm not gonna move to the next pag hindi nyo ito na-screenshot. Okay, send it to your email later para perpetual na nandun na siya sa naka-online na siya. Hindi na siya mawawala sa inyo kahit nawala pa yung laptop niyo or phone niyo. So kayo as investor, for example, papasok kayo sa isang commercial bank like BPI or BDO. Sabihin niyo, sir, I have an extra 5,000, 10,000 pesos. Where should I put my money? So kayo as investors, ipupool namin yung together with all the other investors BPI. Pagsasama-samahin namin yung pera niyo. Tapos i-invest namin yun sa investment funds na tinatawag namin. Ang maganda doon sa mga ganon, kasi sometimes wala ka na ring time especially kung teacher ka na magbantay ng stock market, ng bond market, ng money market, na ikaw talaga yung maghahanap kung saan ilalagay yung pera mo. Pwede mo siyang ipaubaya, hindi yung paubaya ni Moira. Paubaya lang sa banks. Okay? Pwede mo siyang ipaubaya na sabihin mo sige, kayo na BPI, kayo na maghanap, kayo naman magaling dyan, di ba? That's a good thing to look. That's a good way to look at things. Kasi professionally managed yun. Lahat ng fund managers namin na nag-handle ng money niya pag nag-invest kayo sa BPI or any other commercial bank, VP level yun, Vice President level yun. Lalaking mga tao na yun. And what they do is they have teams na ang gagaling, graduates of Ateneo and LaSalle, UST, parang mga nerds na rin na yung trabaho lang din nila everyday is to look for investment na maganda para sa clients namin. So what they do, sila yung naghahanap kung saan nilalagay yung pera ng clients. And they invest them in securities. Pwedeng pag conservative ka, for example, pag pumasok ka sa branch, sabihin mo, sir, ayoko kasi hindi makatulog. So okay lang sa akin kahit conservative, kahit maliit lang yung kita, basta nakakatulog ako. Pwede namin siya ilagay sa money market. Pag gusto mong mas aggressive, okay lang sir, kahit kahit malugi ako in the short term, basta in the next 5-10 years, ako, may income ako, lagay mo na lang sa stocks or sa equities, pwede rin namin ilagay yon. Depende rin kasi sa inyo, hindi namin kayo pinipilit kung saan nilalagay. Lang din, parang nag-guide lang kami sa inyo. So these securities, money market, bonds, stocks, earn income for you guys. And those income is given back to you. Kasi in the first place, sa inyo naman yung pera na hindi kay BPI yun. Minanage lang namin. So this is how these things work. Yung ITF, mutual funds, and variable unit-linked insurance. Yung VUL naman, Ang difference lang dun sa dalawa is may insurance siyang kasama. Pero investments pa rin yan. Next, another screenshot. Pa-screenshot naman, guys. Or pasulat. What are the other assets that you can invest in if you become teachers eventually? Cryptocurrency, I think na parinig na kayo nito eh. Cryptocurrency is like, paano ko ba i-explain yung cryptocurrency? Ano siya eh, digital na pera. Okay? So, hindi siya nare-regulate ng any central bank, hindi siya nare-regulate ng any bank, walang regulation. So, kayo-kayo lang. So, for example, kayong lahat na may cryptocurrency, kayo lang din yung nag-check ng selves nyo. May mga miners na gumagawa nun. But at the end of the day, yung bookkeeping niya or yung accounting niya does not go through banks or does not go through any central bank. So, yung cryptocurrency, it's not safe kasi prone siya sa hacking. Kasi digital lang siya eh. Pag nakalimutan mo yung username and password mo dyan, wala na. For example, if you have millions of pesos there, wala na. Mawawala na yung pera mo. Kasi walang hawak na, walang middleman eh, walang bank eh, na may hawak ng account mo, may hawak ng records mo, wala. Kayo lang. Okay, so I think this is the future of the world eh, yung cryptocurrency. I think in the future, personally, I think hindi na tayo magagamit ng credit cards, debit cards, hindi na tayo magagamit ng pera na physical. Ito na yung future. I think nakita nyo rin sa TikTok, si Facebook is renaming itself into Metaverse. Di ba? Nakikita nyo yun. So Meta is cryptocurrency related. Meaning, yung universe na yun na kinreate ni Mark Zuckerberg will revolve around payments na digital na. Hindi na tayo magbabayad ng mga credit cards or ano pa. Okay, so cryptocurrency na yung i-accept nung universe na ginagawa ng Facebook ngayon. And this is the way to go. Nakikita ng mga companies yan ngayon. I'm not gonna divulge into this so much kasi medyo madugo yung discussion about cryptocurrency. So kayo na lang mag-research niyan. Madami namang influencers na sa TikTok or YouTube na nagdi-discuss ng crypto. Next, real estate. I bought my first house around 25 baon, 26. And it's an investment because I can flip it or I can sell it at a higher price anytime. So that's how real estate works. Sometimes yung iba, bumibili sila ng condo tapos nila titirahan. What they do is they rent it out. So for example, yung monthly nila sa condo, sa Pag-ibig or sa bank is 10,000 tapos paparent din nila ng 10,000. So di ba? Libre. Kumbaga, investment nila yon without paying money. Okay, so that's what you do when you invest in real estate. Entrepreneurship, baka may mga business people din naman dito sa inyo. Maraming teachers na nagiging business women, businessmen, kaya teachers na sila nagpa-part-time sila sa business. And it's one of the assets you can invest in as well. If nagpatayo kayo ng milk tea shop, mga ganon. Okay. So pa-screenshot na lang. I promise you, hand to my heart, gagamitin nyo to in the future. Whatever age you are, ito yung investan nyo ng mga Forex, isa din yun. Pero I don't recommend masyado yung Forex. Now, let's go to the discussion of this is my most favorite part of the conversation. What is the most important asset that you will invest in? Those people, the joke lang. Yourself. Sorry. The most important asset that you can invest in is yourself. Why? Kahit gaano ka pa hindi ka kasi magiging successful dun sa anything na yun eh. Sa profession mo, hindi ka magiging successful sa trading stocks or saving your money, hindi ka magiging successful sa pag-cryptocurrency or buying houses and condos. Hindi ka magiging successful in life if you don't invest in yourself first and foremost. Okay? So kailangan mo talaga munang kailangan mo munang i-nurture yung self mo before you invest in these things. Okay, so again, I'm not running a cult here. Hindi ako parte ng kulto na i-recruit ko kayo. These are not commandments na bibigay ko sa inyo. These are just recommendations. These are just the things that work for me personally. So gusto ko lang siya i-share sa inyo. Kung ano ba yung tips as an adult, anong nangyayari sa akin ngayon in the working force, and ano yung ginagawa ko to cope with these things and to be, I believe, successful in life. Number one, you have to do a lot of research. yung ano ba, yung Kappa, ano ba yun, yung Kappa Ministries na investments. Umabot ba yun sa inyo? Sa Davao?
Naku, opo.
Madami dyan.
Opo. Ay, guys, matanong nga, meron bang nag-join dito sa Kappa din? Yung mga magulang.
Ay, kaayo.
Okay. Narinig ko yun eh. If you don't do research, kung ano lang yung kailangan mong investan, that will happen to you eh. Yung maluloko ka ng mga scam na yun, na double your money, triple your money, and it's been happening for the past 10 years, 20 years. Hindi na bago yun eh. 80s, 90s pa, meron na yan eh. Medyo mas madami lang ngayon eh. So, do a lot of research on your own, and not just with regards to your finances. You have to do a lot of research as well for your personal knowledge. So for example, if I'm watching TV, tapos may sinabi silang word doon na hindi ko naintindihan, Google ko agad yun. And being curious will go a long way. And I believe me guys, if you do a lot of research, like si Jonah, kung hindi nag-research yan sa Facebook at hindi niya ako nahanap, di ba? Ako lang kayo na isang speaker ngayon, di ba? So, ganon. That's what research does for your life. Eh. Be professional always. Kayo literally, magiging professional kayo eh. Magkaka-PRC license na kayo, Professional Regulations Commission na yung tawag dun. So, but what does being a professional mean? Hindi naman porket may PRC license ka na, you're considered a professional person na. Maybe you're a professional teacher, a professional engineer. But meron kasi mga taong hindi rin professional in real life eh, outside of work eh. Okay, so meaning being professional is being empathic about people. So, putting yourselves in other people's shoes, na iniintindi mo sila, that's being professional. One of the telltale signs na masasabi ko talagang professional yung isang tao is if they come on time. Hindi sila nalilate. Ako, I'm almost never late sa life ko. Ako nga yun, sa talk na to eh. 12:30 pa lang, nakapasok na ako sa room eh. I'm never late. I see to it na hindi ako nalilate sa any ano ko. And I think may interviews din ba yung teachers? Meron yata kang interviews eh. Sa mga, I'm not sure, sa mga superintendents. I'm not sure lang. Basta, I think, unlike kasi sa ibang jobs, interviews talaga yung bread and butter. I think yung teachers, meron din naman kayo, kahit pa paano na ini-interview kayo ng parang school principal, mga ganun. If pumunta kayo sa interview nyo, be professional always, okay? If you meet people in a professional setting, be professional din. Come on time, don't waste other people's time kasi nai-insulto kami. For example, na pag nalilate yung mga staff ko, ni-insulto niya yung ibang staff eh, or yung kaming mga officers nila eh. Sinasabi kasi nila na mas importante yung time nila compared sa amin eh. Di ba? So, you have to be on time always. So, you have to be professional, dress well. It goes a long way then. Next, and this is directed to the boys. May mga boys ba sa audience? Kasi yung girls naman, alam ko may mga skincare routine na rin kayo. Yung boys kasi, lang kami, safeguard lang sa face, okay na kami. Di ba? Have a skincare or workout routine. Ito, your mental state is being affected by your physical confidence. Okay? So if you look good, you feel good about yourself. And ako, I wake up every day and nag-skincare workout routine para just to start your day in a good manner, di ba? So, medyo weird siya na tip, di ba? Pero it worked for me. So, gawin nyo siya guys if you feel good, yung mga boys dyan, learn how to use toners na and moisturizers. Tapon nyo na yung mga masters nyo na facial wash and find better brands na. Be organized. Ito, pet peeve ko talaga to eh, pag hindi organized yung tao. Pag kalat-kalat yung mga gamit niya sa table niya. Sobrang ayaw ko makakita ng mga ganito eh. And being organized will go a long way as well. Especially as teachers. You have to invest in highlighters and a lot of pens, okay? Pencils. Be organized in your life. Sinabi ko na ito kanya, dress well. I keep saying this sa mga staff ko, they have to be presentable. It's not that other people's opinion matters, but ang galing din kasi pag you dress well, you feel confident about yourself and you perform well. And dressing well is a good thing. Kaya nga, pag nanonotice nyo, for example, kilala nyo ba si LeBron James? Di ba, meron siyang brand ng, di ba, may contract siya sa Nike, tas may shoes talaga na kay LeBron James to na sapatos. Okay? So people buy that kasi if they wear it, Di ba? They think na parang ang galing na din namin mag-basketball kasi yung sapatos namin is like, is kay LeBron James, di ba? And that's the thing, kasi if you wear something, if you're prepared sa sinusuot mo, you feel better and you eventually perform better then. Next, student mentality. What do I mean by this? When you graduate, hindi na kayo student. Obviously, di ba? But when you graduate, you still have to have that student mentality. Meaning, you have to be willing to learn from other people. Hindi kayo nagmamagaling na, alam ko na lahat, alam ko na to, alam ko na gumawa ng lesson plan, alam ko na gumawa ng mga lessons ko sa kids ko or sa mga tinuturuan ko. You have to learn from other people as well. And you have to learn from the internet, from the media, okay? Always have that student mentality na dapat hindi mo alam lahat-lahat na. Next, failure is your best friend. Now, I'm not telling you guys to fail intentionally na habulin niyo talaga yung failure, but I'm telling you guys for the past 8 years in the banking industry, the lessons that I learned from failing stick to me better than the lessons I learned from success. So meaning mas tumatak talaga yung mga lessons na learn ko nung nag-fail ako or nung nagkamali ako. Kasi pag nagkamali ka, yung lesson na na-learn mo doon, hindi mo na uulitin eh, di ba? Di ba pag ikaw, pag nadapa, di ba? Mas mas naging careful ka na the next time na hindi ka madapa kasi masakit eh, di ba? Hindi mo siya gustong mangyari. So don't be afraid to fail. Kami sa UP, pag nag-graduate kami, I'm not sure sa inyo, pag nag-graduate ba kayo, gumagamit din ba kayo ng sablay? Yung parang ganito, yung parang sash. Yung parang native na tribal na. Toga yata yung ginagamit na. Kami kasi sablay yung ginagamit namin, nakabarong lang kami, tapos naka-dress yung girls sa sablay. Di ba? Pag sinabi mo kasing sablay, yun eh, failure yun eh. It's a representation na Kaya nga sinasabi namin sa UP, you become successful in UP pag sumablay ka na. Meaning, gumraduate ka na eh. And that gives us the mindset na pag sumablay ka, that's okay. It's you're still on the right track. You just have to learn from your mistakes and move on. Live in the moment. Now, anong meaning nito? All of us as a past, meron din tayong future na worry. But I suggest you guys, you just live in the moment. Sinabi ko nga kanina sa inyo, di ba? You're considered adults na kasi nga legal age na kayo. But make sure na you be a kid at heart pa rin. Don't worry about the future muna. The future will worry for itself. Kaya nyo yan. And don't worry about the mistakes you made in the past. You just have to let go of those things and move on and learn from those mistakes. Okay? Live in the present lang. Be present. Alamin nyo kung anong dapat gawin ngayon. Magplano na kayo for the future and learn from the past, but live in the moment. Next, this is very difficult for your generation, I know. To prioritize your mental health. I know ngayong pandemic especially, you don't see your friends, you don't see your family. Medyo mahirap i-prioritize your mental health, but I really hope na nyo siya, i-prioritize nyo siya kasi ang hirap na yung mind nyo ang yung mind nyo ang naapektuhan eh. Yung sinasabi ko sa mga staff ko pag nagmi-meeting kami, you have to be mentally tough kasi yung physical na aspect ng trabaho kayang-kaya natin yun. Hindi naman tayo hindi naman tayo farmers sobrang hirap ng trabaho, nagpapainit tayo everyday, hindi naman. Naka-aircon naman tayo everyday. Hindi naman masyadong mabigat yung pera na binubuhat natin. But your mental health will drag you down if you don't prioritize those things. And lastly, and I hope na may na-learn din kayo, treat people fairly. So however you treat your principal or your district supervisor or your bosses later on should be the same way you should be treating your janitor sa school, okay, or your staff, okay? So just know that a lot of people are going through things that you don't know. So you have to be kind always, you have to be generous always. So you don't have to be judgmental all the time, okay? So control nyo rin yung mga ganong habits, okay? So treat people fairly lang and I promise you the world will treat you a lot better if you do that, if you live that way. Last, and I leave you with this, yung mga questions na lang ngayon na lang sa end ng presentation. You can ask questions ngayon. Last, and I leave you with this, my my personal quote for you guys. You will not need money if you, say it with me, uninstall Shopee. Okay? So control lang din ng mga urges para mag-add to cart and mag-ano. You just have to prioritize kung ano ba, kung short-term ba or long-term goals ba yung priority nyo, yung family nyo ba or yung pera. Okay? So put a hierarchy on those things, list them kung ano ba yung priority mo. O malapit na 12-12, ano din, uninstall din para ano, 12-13 na kayo mag-install ulit. Okay? Iwas-iwas din. Okay? Kasi those those things kasi ano maliliit lang yan. For example, casing ng phone, 50 pesos lang. Pero ano yun nag-accumulate kasi yun O, done na sir, no. Pag mo na mag-check out, mama, baka COD pa yan, tapos yung parents pa yung magbabayad, mahiya naman kayo, di ba?
Nako.
Okay, so huli. Okay. Lazada na lang daw. Sige, wala dun sa quote yung Lazada. Hindi kasi nagra-rhyme Copy yung nagra-rhyme Okay, so with that, I leave you guys that quote and I hope may na-learn din kayo. And for questions, you can on your mic na lang.
Okay, so may question po kanina, sir. Check ko lang dito sa sa
Okay.
lang po. Sa chat box. Okay. Yung about sa po. Saan yun? Ay, oo. Si Ate Lovely po. Si Miss Lovely. Rose Tagod Taliktik. Sabi niya po, yung about po sa income, yung sakto lang yung income para bayaran yung fixed expenses. Yung ganun po. Paano po ba kami makaka-invest or makaka-save? Parang yun po yung thought ng tanong niya.
You want my honest answer, guys. If yung pera nyo or yung income na pumapasok, cash in is equal to cash out lang, kung minsan nga deficit pa kulang pa, hindi kayo makakapag-save, hindi kayo makakapag-invest. And I want you guys to face that kind of reality unless you make a drastic change in your lifestyle. Like for example, 3 electric fan yung nakaandar sa house nyo everyday, gagawin nyo na lang isa, di ba? If you adjust your lifestyle and your expenses, dun lang kayo makakasave. Again, ang hirap. I'm telling you guys, you will never be ready for what's coming pag nag-adulting na kayo. So, kaya nga sinasuggest ko sa inyo, enjoy your life, live in the moment pa ngayon Kasi pag may responsibilities, pag nakausap niyo na si Judith, pag madami ng bill sa bahay, magugulat na lang kayo, kulang pa yung sinisweldo niyo. So, and it's a good thing na may mga ganitong mga seminars kasi we learn how to manage. Hindi, kaya niyo yun. Yung 10%, 20% na income, isang tabi niyo na. Kalimutan niyo yung nag-exist yun. Okay, sa 20,000 na average ng teacher's income daw ba? Sabi ni Sir Lino. For example, 20,000. Ilan lang din naman 10% ng 22,000. Kaya yan, mabubuhay kayo sa 18. Okay? Yung mga tita ko na teachers, I know the reality is hindi madami yung pera nila, yung madami yung utang. Kasi di ba, pag public school especially, nade-delay yung sweldo, di ba? That's the reality of it. Alam niyo yan kasi ed students kayo and I don't want you guys to I don't want to paint a fantasy world for you guys. So I want to be realistic with you guys. Ganun talaga yung nangyayari. So you have to adjust lang. Hindi, kaya niyo yan. But I'm just telling you guys, ang hirap. Mahirap yun pag yung cash in mo is equal to cash out lang. So you have to prepare for that as well. May question pa ba? Magbabasa na lang din ako dito. Ito may nagsabi dito, I think si Sir Dile kasabot og Bisaya kay from Iloilo, much better kung Tagalog. May nakaintindi naman ako. May mga I have colleagues from Cebu and Davao sa BPI. And I have friends from college na galing Zamboanga, Davao, Agusan. So nakaintindi naman ako. I know a phrase or words na, for example, bitaw, kung sa manoy, ano pa ba yun? Yung all-time favorite la, okira. So natatawa ako pag sinasabi niyo ng mga colleagues ko. Okay lang naman. I think naiintindihan ko naman kayo if hindi niyo talaga ma-express sa Tagalog yung question. Okay lang.
Si Ate Edlin. pinag-hands up siya kanina. Ate Ed, pwede ka na pong, magtanong. Open for
Sige, ma'am.
questions si Sir Ronald. Ate Ed. Okay, feeling ko nawala yung connection niya. Let's see kay Mr. Zandre. Sir Zandre.
Okay po. Ask lang po ako, ano po role ng motivation in financial literacy?
Motivation. It plays around your goals yung motivation. So what motivates you? Sinasabi nga na Nescafe, 'di ba? Para kanino ka bumabangon? 'Di ba? What's the reason why you get out of bed every morning? What's your motivation to be successful in this kind of things? And ang role nun is everything. Kasi nga sinabi ko kanina sa inyo, 'di ba? Dalawa lang din naman yung goal natin pag nag-invest. One is to beat inflation, the other one is to reach your life goals. And if you're motivated to reach your life goals, you become more proactive, you become more active in learning kung saan nilalagay yung pera mo ng maayos, kung saan i-invest at hindi siya i-invest sa mga scam, di ba? And motivation is everything when it comes to investments kasi yun yung nagda-drive sa'yo to be successful.
Yes, thank you po dun sa sagot mo, Sir.
Ito how teachers control loans daw kasi so tempting. Alam ko yan.
Oo, ayun Sir Marvin.
Tama nga yung tempting. Kahit kanina naman, kahit naman sa amin I have loans din naman. I bought my second car this year kasi ang gasto. Pero ang gastos, tempting siya pero ang gastos talaga. And paano ba natin makakontrol yun? It depends din naman dun sa lifestyle niya eh. Sometimes kasi yung loans ng teachers natin, pambili ng gadgets, you have to understand kung ano yung needs, ano yung wants niyo. Sinabi nga ni Sir Lino kanina, differentiate those two things. If gusto niyo talagang bilhin yung gadget na yon para sa anak niyo, okay lang naman yon. But you have to understand na pag may loans na kayo, yung cash flow niyo, meaning yung net na pumapasok versus dun sa lumalabas, mabawasan na yon and mag-a-adjust na yung lifestyle niyo yun. Yun na yun. So, depende sa inyo. Trade-off lang din naman yun kung anong gusto niyo ipagpalit dun sa gadget na yon na hindi na kayo kakain ng 3 beses isang araw, di ba? Ganun lang din naman yun eh. You have to prioritize things eh. How would you define being financially literate? Hirap nung tanong parang pang Miss Universe Kasali ba ako? Sunod ba ako doon kay Bea Gomez? Okay. How do you define? Sige. Kasi ako hindi rin. I can consider myself. I'd like to believe na financially literate na ako. So how do I define myself ba? If hindi ka na masyadong nagpo-problema doon sa day-to-day expenses mo. If hindi ka na paycheck to paycheck and na-implement mo na yung plans mo with regards to your financial needs. I think that's the time that you can say na financially literate ka na. Hindi ko kasi masasabi na financially literate kapag umattend ka ng 100, 200 na ganitong seminar eh. Kasi pag sinabi mong literate, di ba, may alam ka, knowledgeable ka. Pero pag hindi mo kasi in-apply sa life mo yan, wala rin eh. Hindi ka rin financially literate eh. Okay, wala na ba? No more questions?
Sir, ako po.
Sige dyan.
Opo. Ito po, totoo po yun, sir, kasi Bachelor of Secondary Education kami, major in English, tapos, so mainly, yung subjects namin is regarding education itself. Wala kami masyadong focused subject na relating yung finances. So, nalito po ako dun sa stocks or sa bond po, yung ganun po.
Okay.
Opo. Ano po bang pinagkaiba or ano po ba talaga yung ibig sabihin ng ganun po para mag-engage po kami or para mag-invest po kami sa stocks or sa bonds, ganun po.
Okay. So si bonds, siya again, I'll go back, utang siya ng either government or corporation. So for example, you have an extra 50,000 pesos. Sasabihin ni San Miguel Corporation, for example, ipautang mo sa akin yan, bibigyan kita ng 4% per annum. Di ba? And you earn from that. Bali fix yung interest ng bonds. Parang time deposit or savings account siya, pero mas malaki kasi nga mas risky pag nagpautang ka sa mga corporations, unlike pag nagpautang ka sa government. On the other hand, yung stocks naman, if you buy stocks of a corporation, you become a part owner of that corporation. So for example, you buy 5,000 pesos worth of shares ni Jollibee. For example, yung stock, may stock prices kasi yun eh, may presyo yung stocks nila depending dun sa maturity and income ng corporation. So mas malaki yung presyo ng stocks, meaning matagal na yung corporation na yun. Madami na silang na-accumulate na income, madami na silang branches, madami na silang malls. Okay? So, for example, yung mga pinakamahal na ano talaga na stocks ngayon, no, umaabot ng yung price ng per share nila is mga 2,000, 3,000. Si Globe, si PLDT, kasi matatagal na yung companies na yun. SM, Ayala, di ba? BPI, oo. Kami, I'm not sure magkano na yung stock price namin ngayon. Pero malaki din. Kasi yung ibang, meron din kasi mga companies na nagsa-start pa, like mga grocery companies like Merrimark or Converge. Yung stock price nila na yun, mga 8 pesos, 10 pesos. Okay? So yung stock price, yun yung nagde-determine kung gaano ka-successful yung company. So if a company is yung revenue ni company is malaki for this year, tumataas din yung stock price nila. If for example, may good news, may for example nakakuha ng government contract yung isang company na to, isang construction company, their stock prices go up kasi parang ano ko ba sasabihin to? Parang sentiment yun ng tao eh, na pag may magandang nangyari sa ano na to, sa company na to, bibili namin yung stocks nila. And it's a matter of demand and supply. Eh. If malaki yung demand sa stocks ng isang company, tumataas din yung presyo. So for example, you bought Jollibee. For example, you bought BPI at 89 pesos. For example, bumili kayo ng stock namin. Tapos, di ba, papasok kayo ng BPI branch kasi part owner na kayo ng BPI technically, di ba? So pwede nyo nang sampal-sampalin yung mga tellers na de-joke lang. Kasi may-ari na kayo ng BPI, de-joke lang. Technically, owner na kayo ng BPI. So for example, 89. Tapos, lumabas yung earnings namin for the year, for 2020. Mataas yung income ng BPI. So tumaas yung stock price niya kasi yung investors nagalingan sa BPI. So tumaas siya ng mga 100 pesos. So yung difference na 11 pesos, yun yung kita mo kasi bumili ka ng 89. Pwede mo siyang i-sell. Pwede buy and sell kasi yun yung stocks eh. Pwede mo siyang i-sell at 100 pesos. And pwede nyo i-YouTube yung mga lahat na yan kasi ang hirap i-explain ng walang visuals eh. So ganun lang siya. Bonds are utang, stocks are ownership in a corporation. You can invest in those things. Capital yun ng mga korporasyon, ng government. Okay? Ganun lang siya. Ang capital lang ng dalawang entities na yun.
Okay po. So, ayun po. Meron pong tanong si Miss... Hands up. Si Miss Edfin. Opo, meron po siyang.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Nobody asked, sir. Why is it up till now pyramiding scheme is not really happening?
Ano, sorry?
Why is it up till now pyramiding scheme is not really happening?
Wala, sorry, hindi ko talaga marinig. Pwede pa-type na lang sa chat.
Pyramid schemes.
Oo. Sir. Hello, sir.
Okay.
Oo.
Bakit nag-i-exist pa rin sila?
Yes. Nag-convey, sir.
Ang simpleng sagot lang dyan, kung bakit nag-i-exist pa rin ang pyramid scheme, is kasi may nagpapaloko pa rin. Kasi pag wala nang nagpaloko, wala na rin pyramid scheme eh. Hindi naman sila nagpapa-invest sa companies eh. Hindi naman sila nagpapa-invest sa mayayaman na tao. Actually, yung nag-i-invest lang din naman yan yung mga maluloko nila eh, di ba? Okay, so, ganun lang. Tsaka hindi siya masyadong nare-regulate. Alam nyo, kasi yung ginagawa ng mga nag-pyramid scheme is may parang backer sila sa government, for example, governor, mayor. Na pinoprotect sila sa ganyang territory, kaya sila nakakapag-cultivate ng funds from the territory, from the province or city. Kasi, binabribe nila yung mga politicians to protect them na hindi sila investigate ng SEC, ng Securities and Exchange Commission, ng BSP. Ganun lang yun, ganun lang kasimple yun. Kaya pa rin sila nag-i-exist. Kasi ang dami pa rin corrupt sa Pilipinas.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you din sa
Sir.
Miss Edwin. So, okay. Meron pa ba tayong mga further questions or clarifications or mga hindi natin masyadong nalilito tayo dun sa sa mga terminologies or kung ano man yung nasa isip niya. Ayun, meron pa ba, guys?
Um, Hi sir.
Hey, yes sir.
Di ba have you heard NFT po? Di ba part po siya ng cryptocurrency?
Yes sir, lahat yon. Yung NFT coins, yung Axie, narinig niyo ba yun? Yung parang nilalaro nila. Yung mga games na coins, part yun ng, yung cryptocurrency kasi yun yung umbrella term eh. Anything that is digital money, cryptocurrency. So sa ilalim nun, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, NFTs. Okay, so yun yung parang yung parang umbrella term nung lahat ng digital na pera, cryptocurrency.
Si sir, yun lang po. Thank you.
Maganda po. Ay, meron po akong tanong, sir.
Hmm.
Kasi familiar din po yung cryptocurrency. So, ang kaso lang po is yung sinabi niyo po, parang medyo risky siya or risky po talaga siya. Kasi
Masyadong
hindi siya fluid cash na pwede mo lang agad makuha yung kumbaga nasa gadget talaga siya, digital siya. So, sa amin po ngayon na mga students, ano pong maisasuggest nyo if ever na nag-engage na kami dyan sa cryptocurrency? If ever na
ito yung
meron
lang
kami.
Ito lang yung major principle ko pag nag-advise ako about cryptocurrency. Do not invest in something that you know nothing about or you know very little about, okay? Huwag kayong mag-invest sa cryptocurrency unless alam nyo talaga kung anong nangyayari. Like, napanood nyo na lahat ng videos, lahat ng influencers, lahat ng data na review nyo na lahat ng data about cryptocurrency. Kasi alam nyo, based on experience, for example, pag nag-trade ka sa stocks, for example, nag-buy and sell ka ng stocks in a day, pwede ka malugi doon in a couple of hours. For example, yung pera mo today, 5,000 pa, in 2 hours lang, magiging 3,000 na lang yan. Ganyan ka volatile sa ganyan ka grabe yung taas-baba ng stock market. Stock market pa lang yun. It represents corporations pa na nakikita mo, di ba? Paano na yung crypto na hindi mo na nakita? Hangin lang yan eh. Digital lang yung lahat yun eh. Pwede pa nga ma-hack eh. So, mas malaki yung nalulugi ng mga tao dun sa cryptocurrency. So, invest in cryptocurrency, the money, na willing na kayong i-lose, na okay lang sa inyo kahit mawala yan, 0%, lahat, ubos, lahat. Okay? Kasi, for example, sa stocks, pwede ka malugi on a daily basis, mga 10%, maximum na yun based on experience. Pero sa crypto, pag nagpasok ka, for example, ng minimum, yan, 5,000 lang din eh. Pag nagpasok ka ng 5,000 sa crypto, mga after 2 minutes, ubos na yung 5,000 mo, ganun siya kabilis eh. Nagda-down siya ng mga 1,000, 2,000% eh. Di ba? Ganun kagrabe yung volatility ng cryptocurrency. So, kailangan talaga you have the heart for it. Huwag kayong mag-invest kung wala kayong masyadong knowledge dun.
Thank you po dun sa sagot. Pero parang talagang totoo po, may point po talaga. Kasi minsan natatempt po kami na andito pa lang kami, sorry. Natatempt po kami na mag-engage sa mga ganyan kasi uso sa Facebook yung panay-share yung mga kabataan or kung sino man yan. So, syempre, walang medyo alam. Tapos, after tignan yung YouTube, after makapanood ng tatlong mga YouTube contents about cryptocurrencies, nag-engage agad kami. So, malaking tulong din po yung yung advice niya sa amin na talagang hindi kami dapat mag-engage sa bagay or mag-invest sa bagay kung hindi namin siya talagang totoong alam. Kasi kapag anong tawag dito? Sorry, nabubulol yung Tagalog ko. Pasensya po.
Okay lang.
Kasi kapag nanonood mo kasi kami ng YouTube paminsan-minsan, parang feel namin, okay, ganito pala.
Yayaman ang lahat ng tao, no? Diba? Parang lahat na ng tao dito mayaman eh pag nagkwento sila sa YouTube, di ba?
Oo. Kaya ayun po, parang na-i-influence din kami sa.
Pero actually, yayaman ka talaga din eh. For example, you have 5,000 pesos, tapos nag-up siya ng another 1,000%. Ang laki na din, laki ng kita niyo dun sa crypto eh. Pag nakachamba kayo, pag for example, pumasok kayo doon nang wala kayong alam, tapos biglang tumaas yung coin niyo. Malaki. Pero again, it's a meme. Meme, alam niyo yung meme? Parang joke na images sa meme. M-E-M-E. Meme coins kasi yung karamihan dyan like Dogecoin. Nag-tweet lang si Elon Musk ng about sa ganung coin, nag-up siya ng 2,000%. Parang ang sobrang ang bilis nung taas-baba niya. So medyo ma-heart attack pa talaga.
Opo. Tapos, ayun, meron pa ba tayong mga tanong? Ako na talaga yung nagtanong, sir, no? Meron pa bang mga tanong, mga kaibigan, mga audiences, participants? Do you have any questions, concerns regarding sa experiences nyo ngayon na gusto nyo humingi ng advice kay Sir Ronald?
Okay na ba?
Okay. Yun lang ba yun? Kasi meron
Nagising
pa
tayong
akong
lahat,
last na tanong.
Sige, go.
Parang ako yung magtanong kung sino yung magtatanong, pero ako pala yung may
Pwede
tanong.
na mag-out sa call lahat, mag-uusap na lang kami ni John.
Oy, wag na lang po, sir.
Joke lang. Sige,
Okay.
go, John.
So, ayun po, sir. Kasi po, share ko lang din po. Working student po kasi ako. Tapos, meron akong anong tawag dito? Sa Bisaya po, parang nakasagubang na, na quote. Ano ba yun sa Tagalog, guys? Yung parang, nakasalubong.
Encounter.
Oo, na-encounter. Thank you, Kuya Xander. Thank you, Sir Xander. Ayun, tapos ano po siya, the more you earn, the more you spend. Parang na-mention din yun ni Sir Lino kanina. The more you earn, the more you spend. Paano po ba namin makokontrol yung urges namin dito?
Paano, sorry?
Paano po ba namin makokontrol yung urges namin dito?
Yung
Kasi
temptations.
syempre 20s, oo. Minsan gusto namin talagang bumili sa Shopee kasi 12-12 na, 11-11. Nabubudol na naman kami sa mga sale. Ayun. So, paano ba namin makokontrol yung spending namin sa ganong paraan? Kasi alam namin na meron kaming pera tapos na-spend na namin, wala kaming na-save yung ganon.
Ano yun human nature kasi yun na pag dumadami yung pera mo, yung contentment mo tumataas din For example, nakabili ka na ng kotse mo na na second hand. Tapos nakita mo yung friend mo may kotse na bago, 'di ba? Nai-envy mo yun, naiinggit ka so 'di ba? So bibili ka rin ng kahit lubog ka na sa utang, 'di ba? And it's a matter of contentment. You have to set yung level lang na pag nasa ganito na ako, makakontento na ako. I won't be longing for more. Hindi mag-a-adjust yung pera ko sa lifestyle ko. And it's a matter of discipline din You have to discipline yourself na huwag magpatem sa mga ganong bagay. Kasi it's easier said than done, to be honest. Ang hirap na, sinasabi ko lang you have to be disciplined, you have to be financially educated. Pero ang hirap gawin nun in real life, I'm telling you guys. And for the past 8 years, ang hirap na mag-cope dun sa mga ganong bagay. So, it's okay if you struggle, but at the end of the day, you have to know kung anong level na ba yung contentment nyo and you have to stick to that level.
Alright. Fully satisfied po ako dun sa sagot, Sir Ronald. Okay, so sa tingin ko kung wala nang magtatanong, wala na din akong tanong. Yun lang po yung last na tanong ko. Thank you po sa time. We've learned a lot and we've pondered a lot regarding the stock bonds, the investment, the cryptocurrencies, and also regarding how we spend our money. So in this case, since let's see here, we are all done with the speakers. We will be having a mini games. And here, Miss Ergin, are you around or do you have a stable internet connection to introduce the mini games to our participants or audiences?
Yes, Jonah. Hello.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I will give the stage now to Miss Ergin.
So, hi everyone. So, are you still with us?
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure na you've pondered a lot from the discussion of our speakers today. So, dapat kayo kasi bawat salitang maririnig natin mula sa kanila ay magdadala natin habang buhay, di ba? So ngayon, I have prepared a game called Guess the Word. In this game, you will enjoy and at the same time, you will learn. So, kung napang tanan, please say type yes or hi into the message. So, is everyone ready?
Okay, ready na. Wow. Ako yung nag-ano. Feeling ko ready na kasi maraming nag-hi. So, since there are lots of participants responding to the chat box, you can now start, Miss Urgent.
So, for the first word, for the clue, this is an asset that is created with the intention of allowing money to grow. So, what is this word?
Investment.
May know, is that Jovelyn? Can you please raise your hand for me to check here? And because the price is a little big. So, okay, Jovel Bea. Please turn on your mic and your video, if you may. Or your mic. So, okay, what's the answer for this part? Investment. Is that correct, Miss Urgent?
Yes, correct. Congratulations.
Okay. So please send your the informations we're gonna be giving registration form later on. But please write your name in here and type the word investment. 50. The winner of the game will receive 50 GCash, money, or load. So whichever you want. So the next one would be Charian. Wow, Charian is the first one who raised the hand. Can you guess the word?
Income.
Income. Oh, is this the correct one?
Yes, it's correct.
Okay, so please say your name or the word income and then your number 50. Okay, wala akong nare-receive na notification dito. So, let's see here. Okay, Miss Cherilyn Banuelos. Yes? Please comment your information later. So, name, then word, and then money. Yes, Miss Cherilyn. Is this Cherilyn? The first one to raise hand is Cherilyn Banuelos. Hold on. Okay, so can you please guess the word?
Income, Miss.
May nauna na tayo. Ma'am Sharian as the first to answer the income. So, how about this? We are now on the next part of the PowerPoint presentation.
Item.
Can you? Let's see. Okay, we have Trish. Hold on. I have here Sharian Arsenas. I'm not sure if this is spelled correct. Sharian Arsenas. Okay, Sherilyn Banuelos. Sherilyn Banuelos, please turn on your mic. And what's the answer? Wala ko yung madungo, guys. Answer na?
Wala.
Okay, si Sherilyn Banuelos, siya ang nag-raise og 100 ka ganima first. Okay, so since it's like 15
seconds.
Yeah. Let's have Trisha Lee Mitch. Trisha Lee Mitch,
Asset.
15. Asset.
Asset
Okay.
payback.
Is that correct? Asset. Okay, so please comment your information here along with the word asset, so name, then the word asset, and then 50. So let's proceed to the fourth one. So I guess we will be having a timer. So for this word, what is this word? 15 seconds only. 15 seconds only para mas challenging. Okay, what's the answer, Charilyn Banuelos? Please open your mic. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay. Hindi ka po namin narinig, Miss Charilyn. Okay, now let's go on to Bea Git. This is Bea Git.
Budgeting.
Budgeting. Is that correct, Miss Urgent?
Yes. Plan for this.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Please comment your name, word, and 50. Next. Okay, so Dinah, what is?
Credit, miss.
I'm sorry?
Credit, miss.
Credit. Okay. Correct. Okay, correct. Okay, and next. We have Dinah. Oh, hold on. Dinah. Hold on. Okay, for this part, what's the answer? Okay, so go on, Mary. What's the answer? So the one who first raised hand was Mary Jane Oponda and then Bea Git. If Mary Jane Oponda cannot answer this one for 5 seconds, 5. Open lang yung mic. 5, 4, 3.
Good morning, Mrs. Interest.
Interest. Is that correct, Miss Urgin? Okay. All right. Please write your name, the word, and then 50. And this part next. Yes, Bea? Five, four, three,
Savings.
2. Okay. Savings? Is that correct?
Yes, that's
Okay, next. This one. Okay, Miss Sharian. 5,
Pleasure.
4. Okay,
Pleasure.
that's correct. Pleasure. Mm-hmm. Please write your information here, name, and then word, and then number. Then the next 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so bye-bye 450. Next, skip mo lang yan, Jen. What's the answer? Oh, ayun. Frugal yung answer. Hindi nasagot. This one, last but not the least, 5, 4, 3, yes. Hold on. Yes, hold on. Yes, Trisha Lee? Trisha Lee.
Financial literacy.
Yes, okay, that's correct. Please write your name and then cash. Name and then word and then cash. 50. Okay, so up next, meron pa ba, Miss Urgin?
Wala na, John.
Okay, so for now, for the closing remarks, let us have Jonah. So that is me, Jonah Mokam, for the closing remarks because one of our members is not available due to internet connectivity. So ayun, brown out sa kanila. So ayun, once again, I am very grateful
Excuse
for
me,
this.
John, okay na ako ang connection.
Oh, okay na, okay na. Okay, thank you so much for that, Sophia. So without any further ado, in this part of the program, we are gonna be having no other than our Bachelor of Secondary Education co-student, who is Miss Sophia Buat. Please give her a warm of applause, please. Okay, virtual warm of applause. So I'll give the stage to Ma'am Sophia, Miss Sophia, at the moment.
Pleasant afternoon to all of you. So, I observed the excellent presentation and active discussions among our speakers, namely Mr. Ronald Oquendo and Mr. Leino Tejada. Therefore, I can conclude that the purpose of the webinar entitled Financial Literacy, a Strengthening Foundation Towards Adulting Journey, has been completely accomplished. With that, and this with this quote, if you take control of your finances today, then you won't be a victim of them tomorrow. By Emily G. Stroud. Finally, on behalf of my teammates, I would like to express my appreciation to all of the participants, speakers, staff, and especially to our course facilitator for taking our course facilitator in our session, wishing you all a prosperity amid the pandemic. Thank you for your attention and stay safe.
Okay, so in that case, thank you so much, Ma'am Sophia, for that very wonderful closing remarks. So at the moment, of course, we will not end any webinar without the somewhat open forum. So I will be letting 3 volunteers. So let's have 3 volunteers to have their own thoughts of what they learned about the presentation, what they expected about the webinar, and what was being accomplished by the webinar. So in this part, let's have the first one. Okay, Ma'am Lovely, Miss Lovely, our Bachelor of Secondary Education co-student. So let us welcome her.
I've learned a lot for this topic. We all know that money is very important to us. According to Tubak, people who live tight budgets are going to grasp at any pleasure they can find. We must spend our money in important things so that we cannot waste it. I understand also how important the proper balance between saving, balancing, spending, and budgeting. When we save money, we must know that we are already accomplishing our goals as long as that spending doesn't drag you into debt. I have a lot of regrets about spending or wasting money. I buy some things that at the end of the day, it doesn't useful for me. We may not know better if we never learn how to manage money.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, I Ayun. So, talagang totoo naman, natutunan natin on how to spend the money that we have, especially we're still students right now. And when we are gonna be teachers very soon, of course, we're gonna be spending money for our family, for ourselves. And in this case, who would be the next volunteer? Who would want to go next? You can turn on your mic now and have your speech about the lessons that you've learned.
Okay, ako, I volunteer.
Okay, go on, Sir Marvin. Thank you. So this is our co-student, which is a Bachelor of Secondary Education. So virtual applause, please. So
Hello,
I'll give this to-
everyone. I know it's cliche that our elders tend to say that you should have insurance, retirement plan, investments, but it makes sense. It's good to have financial freedom. It makes life easier. Everyone wants to be rich, not until they need to do all of these things to be financially stable. But the thing is, we need to be financially independent. It doesn't matter where you came from, who your mama is, your papa. But the thing is, most people tend to blame their family because of their financial status. But in reality, you need to be responsible for your finances and be financially independent.
Wow. I see. Okay, thank you so much, Sir Marvin. Talagang tama din naman. Kailangan natin, we need to learn about financial literacy and we need to apply this also. Kasi sa totoo lang, hindi tinuturo sa school most often yung regarding sa money, which is after we graduate, we deal with money. Kasi nga, di ba, magkakatrabaho tayo. Tapos, may trabaho tayo, syempre, may sahod tayo. So, kung may sahod tayo, meron tayong panggagamitan for our expenses. But if we do not know how to handle money talagang magkakautang tayo mga teachers, especially dun sa mga tempting na loans. Okay. Now, for our next speaker, I guess we'll be having 4. If there would be someone who would want to volunteer. Okay, go on. So, all right, I will now give the stage to also one of our Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English co-student, Miss Shine Formentera. So, I'll give the stage to you.
Good afternoon, madungog ko.
Yes, madungog ka, Shine.
Okay. So, when we first hear the word financial literacy or finance, it always come up in our mind that it's related to money, how you manage your money, how to save your money. So I've learned today how important to manage my finances. So it is very important for us to know the basic steps on how we can improve or we can solve in our financial problems. So as you contemplate ways of improving financial capacity, don't overlook the importance of financial literacy and financial education. We need efforts to improve financial capacity and to raise financial literacy. It makes for an easier and more successful journey. So, this webinar today, that is important step in our journey. So, lang dahil ang dili lang dahil ang financial literacy is to spend. So, daghan og ganang before nimo ma-achieve ang successful or business, you have to follow the steps, diba? Lang so, thank you.
Okay. All right. Oo. Kailangan din talaga nating may tips. May application or implementation dun sa mga binigay ng tips kasi provided na lahat dun sa dalawang speakers natin. So, thankful talaga tayo dun sa both honorable speakers, which is Sir Lino and Sir Ronald Oquendo. And also, talagang nakaka-touch yung kanilang mga sinabi kanina na mga words of wisdom. Kasi yun yung in reality, yun yung nasa real life na nangyayari. Kaya nga, wala lang, masaya lang din ako ngayon. I hope kayo din. But if meron pang gustong mag-add on dun sa tatlong nag-volunteer, sino pa yung gustong mag-add as a, volunteer to speak about what they have learned, what they have pondered, what you have acquired in the webinar. Okay, so how about, let's see here, Miss Edlin? Is Miss Edlin still around?
Okay, good afternoon, hello, and good afternoon. I'll take this opportunity to say thank you for all who have been participated of this live webinar. Most especially to our subject facilitator, which is gitagaan niya og kanang unsa ba kanang na makabuhat ta ani kay ever since murag wala pa jud di pa tayo naka-experience sa ganitong ano. Then of course sa two speakers natin, and then thank you so much po sa inyo. It is such a good opportunity for me or for us as a student for being able to financial literate. I know that I am not yet financial literate, but after this maybe I gain too much knowledge in financial literacy. Why it is important to be financial literate. And for now, maybe I'm much more financially smart. That's all, and once again, thank you and good day.
Yes, thank you so much, Miss Edlin, for that wonderful speech or yung na-learn mo dun sa webinar natin ngayon. And right now, at the moment, since wala nang iba pang gustong mag-share ng kanilang ideas na na-learn, I will be, let's see here, I will be taking a picture. So this is for our documentation purposes. No, hindi tayo nakapag-picture kanina, yung meron pa yung mga speakers. So sayang. Pero sige, okay lang. Here. Oh, ay! Meron na pala. Hold on. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, another one. Ayun. Humana ba, Kuya Zan? Mag-on cam sa daoy. On cam mo, guys. Especially itong...
Actually, napay prayer, pero pinakalas na to.
Okay, sige. Thank you, kayo.
Okay lang, may PPT? Sige.
So, hi guys. Makita dara tanan sa imo haya? Kita tanan?
Actually, daily.
Ang makita sa ako, 4 ang naka-on cam. 4
Ako, ano man lang ito? 8, 4, 8, 12. 12 naman lang ito.
Okay. 4 lang siguro.
Makita tanan dire.
Okay. Si Miss Sofia, si Francesca. Oh, hi Francesca. Si Charian Arsenas, pwede po mag-on sa cam. Si Miss Ergine. Nandun na sa gawas. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Oh, si Marvin po, Galaraga. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Uy, dapat gwapa taaning ko ha. Okay, wow. Taaning, kay, siya ang ato ipakita kay ma'am. But yes, very thankful ko guys. Gusto na ko mag-congratulate tanan sa inyong contribution. Na-appreciate gid na ko guys. This would be impossible without the speakers. Yes, but especially this would not be possible without you. Thank you guys sa inyong cooperation. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile.
Screenshot ka sa John?
Oh, naagay wala nag-smile. Kadali lang. Si Mary Jane, si Miss Ergine, si Shine, si Marvs. Okay, sige. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay. Ay, nakasave ko. Kuya Dan. kamo pod pwede pod good man mag-screenshot kay para ma-present na to sa final requirements later on. So before we end, let us have the stage. Let us give the stage to Miss Safia Buat for the closing prayer.
Heavenly Father,
Wala naman nata si Ong.
Murag nawala siya.
Ako na lang
Ay,
i-play.
nasi ate. Nasi Miss. Okay. So I'll let Miss Ong pala. I'm sorry. Oo.
Ano day?
Si Miss Edfin Ong. Okay, so let us put ourselves into the presence of God and bow down our heads and close our eyes.
Naka-mute ka ate, sorry.
Hello? Hello? Yes, I'm on ahead.
Madungog na.
Dear wise and loving one, thank you on behalf of all who are gathered here today. Thank you for many and abundant blessings. Thank you for the life itself, for the measure of health we need to fulfill our callings for sustenance and for friendship. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. Thanks as well for the freedom to embrace you. Thank you for loving us even so from your boundless and gracious nature. Holy One, we come to you with rejoice for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we end this webinar. Help us to apply the lessons taught in this meaningful discussion, while allowing us to nurture our financial literacy for the good of our future. It is in your most blessed name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Yes! So, once again, congratulations! Ayun! Okay, yay! Actually, this ends this ends our webinar right now. And thank you sa mga participants.
Thank you.
Struggle ko ganinga dun kay. Dato pa kong gimol kay gusto ko ganang hilom kay nga place ba kanang pag wala ko sa tinahan kay saba man tayo. Nya, di mo jud makaya saba mo pud sa gimol. Ani na pud this boarding house ang kuya. Just
Look, ayok. Wala ang internet.
Oo.
Ay, nakuman na yun.
Record.
Successful. Makatulog na ta, makahimo na ta ang sa paper. Oh.
Number
Nag-record ba?
Thank you.
Thank you sa mga kapel.
Yes, thank you mga ate, kuya, o mga participants. So, isa-isa na to ang nabilin na rin. Thank you, Marvin, kay Ate Edlin, kay Kuya Zandri, Shine, si Urgin, Ate Edfit, si Mary Jane Wanda sa pag-participate, si Charian Arsanas, mga Miss Mary and Miss Charian, hello. Miss Francesca, thank you for joining. Yes, and sa mga wala na mention, si 2, 4, 6, 8. Ate Lovely. So, si Ate Lovely is on duty. So, nag-out na siya po na, no? Thank you so much for working with our team cooperatively. Thank you kayo sa inyong cooperation. Tanan. So, right now, don't forget the final requirements for the Edge of 108 would be about the documentation of this part. I'm gonna be sending later on the picture or the screenshot.
Isa lang ta mag-send or isa mag-send?
Pwede siya as a whole. But, kamo ang mag-fill out sa inyong katong kumrag column to siya and then kamo ang magbulang sa contribution, something like that. Unsa ang role? Yes, unsa ang role na inyong na-contribute. For example, surfing on Google to find Ana, kay murag mao na siya ang basehan ni ma'am sa ato ang final requirements. Dili lang po sure isa third examination or sa final examination ni siya. But very thankful ko karong adlaw December 11 sa all. And I guess karon murag mao na ni siya, no? This is what like the beginning of our another journey and chapter to answer another thing or to do our errand. So guys, amping mo Permi and goodbye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you po. Thank you kayo sa inyong tanan. Bye. Hi.